to the K-West pregame show where it is the Weslaco Panthers taking on the Harlingen South Hawks. We are here live at Bobby Lackey Stadium. It is Parents' Night. Parents' Night is about to begin here in about 10 minutes or so, but we will remain live for about those 10 minutes. Then we will continue live on Facebook as they have Parents' Night right behind us. Mike Gonzalez, well, he's at a tailgate party right outside of the stadium. We'll check in with him a little bit later. All right, so it's the Weslaco Panthers who are on a roll right now to begin the season at 3-0 on the season with wins over McAllen Rowe, Ed Chalcelsa, and last week against PSJA North. And the Harlingen South Hawks, they're also on a roll. They lost their first game against Edinburgh. Then they've won 2 games coming into this contest where they beat, let's see, PSJA North, and they beat McAllen last week by a score of 38-0. Now, these two teams know each other. Remember, they played against each other last year when they were both in 32-6A. So let's take a look at the highlights in that contest where it was McAllen going against the Weslaco Panthers. As we take a look at those highlights right here early on, it was the South Hawks leading. That's Emilio Quiroz with a score and a touchdown, and they were up 17-7 at halftime. Panthers come roaring back in the second half. Marco Leal hits Devin Denai here for the touchdown as he stays in bounds right there in the corner. The Panthers were still down 14-7, but Elijah Banda, yeah, he graduated already, but running like a madman right here. Then Banda powering his way forward, taking this ball inside the 5-yard line. Same drive, he goes in for the score, and the Panthers take the lead. They add another score right here. Banda to the young sophomore back then, Jaden Cavazos, and the Panthers won that game by a final score of 28-25. So the Harlingen South Hawks, they rely on a lot of experience, and let's take a look at some of their playmakers, some of the players that we'll have to look out for here tonight. And some of those players, you will have David Torres, who was their quarterback coming back from a year ago. He's thrown for 385 yards, 2 touchdowns back from last year. Also, Emilio Quiroz, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season. And he also has 2 100-yard games. Another running back to look out for is going to be Corbin Hedrick. That's right. They got a couple of running backs to look out for in the backfield. 257 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns for Kevin Hendrick. Their leading wide receiver is going to be Derek Delgado, 6'1", 185, 17 receptions, 247 yards, and 1 touchdown catch. All right, so it's the Panthers and the Harlingen South Hawks right here inside Bobby Lackey Stadium. But like I said, outside of the stadium, they're having a good time. They're having a tailgate. Isn't that right, Mike Gonzalez?
Well, they say that high school football is king here in Texas. But before you can have the game, you have the tailgate party. We got the cheerleaders out here. We got the barbecue pit out here. We got some fans out here having a great time 1 hour away from kickoff. And here to join me now is probably the biggest Weslaco Panther fan, at least for this year, is Mr. Johnny Cavazos. All right, Johnny, well, you guys have been out here for a long while. You guys got the pit going. Tell us what's going on.
Just trying to barbecue and get ready for the game.
And you know what? I mean, they say that Texas high school football is huge here in Texas, but in Weslaco, I mean, we are probably the best. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We got the best fans. I absolutely agree.
Yeah. What kind of food are you guys going to make?
If there's any left, if they haven't eaten it all, there's fajita tacos and chicken and sausage. There's some cake that has some beet hawks on it and moo flies, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Wow. And you know what? All this looks very, very delicious. As you can see, they brought out some cake out here as well. Beat the Hawks. That's right. Let's go, Weslaco. Beat the Hawks. And they got another cake out here. We are Weslaco High. That's right. They're gonna have these. They're gonna hand these out to some fans. You see the little kids out here having a great time. The cheerleaders here are gonna paint the faces before the game to get everybody going, get everybody's fired up out here, Carlos. You know what? I think I'm going to have me a taco. So I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you.
Good, Mike. I can smell the food from right here because he's right outside the stadium. We look forward to hearing from you a little bit more later on in this show. All right, so who are the Panther playmakers? We got 3 games. The Panthers 3-0, and who are the ones that are the headline makers? Who are the ones to look out for? Well, let's take a look here because we do have these players right here, and we have Jacob Cavazos, the quarterback, 402 yards passing, 260 yards rushing, and he has 13 touchdowns, this young man. Just 3 games, 10 passing and 3 rushing for Jacob Cavazos. He's the quarterback. Peyton Kanab at running back, 182 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns for him. what a lot of people like about him is the way he also blocks down the field as well. Jaden Cavazos, wide receiver, junior, 119 yards so far on the season and 3 touchdowns. And Devin Denna, 106 yards and 3 TDs for the senior. All right, so how about the Panthers from a week ago? What are they doing so well? Let's take a look at some of the highlights from last week. They were on the road playing against the Raiders, PSJ North at PSJA Stadium. So those highlights coming to you right now, and here we go. The Panthers were getting a little spark from that special teams. They have so much speed. The punter bobbles the ball. They were all over the ball, and they get the ball in great field position. Peyton Knob follows his blockers. Watch the little stiff arm right there. Get out of my way. Peyton Knob is in for the score. Defensively, the Panthers with a lot of speed, but they also have some bulk on that defensive line. Sam Bettis right here able to create a little bit of commotion in the backfield. The running back hits the guard. The ball comes loose, and then the Panthers in great field position. And then Jacob Cavazos, he is quite a force. Watch him right here rolling out, has 2 options, and he finds the open man for the touchdown. The Panthers are up 14-0, and they just continue to roll. Cavazos has some deceptive speed, some quickness also. People are just taking the wrong angle on this guy because they don't know just how fast he is. He runs for 30 yards right here, and here he is on the rollout, finds the open guy once again. Does Cavazos. Rolling out one more time, and he does make a move right there. If he doesn't make that move, Cavazos is probably sacked, but he extends the play and scores a touchdown. The speed of Cavazos is just so strong. He's got a great arm, making the right choice down the field, and on this play, he actually had some running lanes, and we'll watch it once again because he had 7 players that had an opportunity to bring him down. Watch this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's one more guy over there on top of the screen, and he's able to just outrun them all as play it right there and watch him. I do like the guy at the very end of the play. He was kind of an internet sensation. Watch him right here at the very end as he makes a late dive trying to make a tackle or something, but everyone seemed to like that play. All right, so those are some of the highlights. That was a win last week for the Weslaco Panthers. They won by a score of 45-27. K-West will also be broadcasting this game. It'll be a delayed game because of UIL rules, so that'll be Scott Carrison and Clay Williams who will be bringing us the call tonight. Scott and Clay, what do you think about tonight's game?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing the balance on this squad tonight once again come out for Weslaco. I mean, Jacob Cavazos, passed for 10 touchdowns, also has rushed for 3. And let's not forget about the defense. Last week, Isaac Gonzalez, that top freshman running back, he was held to over 100, actually under 100 yards rushing, just 89. So again, it's a total team effort. We see it week after week. And we see Denna out there. He gets a touchdown every week receiving. We'll see if he has now 4 games in a row he does it. I just love the balance of this team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is a special evening because we would like to recognize the players with their parents. It is Parents' Night.
Cats, they continue their tough schedule, and then Port Isabel will be at La Feria, Vela at Los Fresnos, 2 teams that are in the top 10. A lot of people will be looking at the Mercedes versus Edinburgh game for multiple reasons, including that Edinburgh is in the district of the Weslaco Panthers. Sherryland is also at Hannah. Mike, what do you think about tonight's games across the Rio Grande Valley?
All right, Carlos, I'm out here eating my taco, and boy, is it delicious. But you know what? Let's talk a little bit of football here. Weslaco East is at Bogus Stadium tonight to take on the Harlingen Cardinals, looking for the first win of the season. Cardinals are 2-0. Both of these teams played last year at Bogus Stadium with the Wildcats coming out with a huge victory. My big question tonight is, who's going to play quarterback for Weslaco East? Is it going to be Ramsey Vasquez, or is it going to be Tony Cedeno, who was supposed to be the starter but got injured? We're going to find out tonight. Port Isabel at La Feria, another big one. These 2 teams go way, way back. I covered a lot of these games back in the 3A days. A lot of great games with all-state players in it. Edinburgh Vela against Los Fresnos. 2 Valley powers. Both teams went to the 3rd round last year. Los Fresnos with an outstanding defense already with 10 sacks and 3 interceptions. Meanwhile, Edinburgh Vela, the last time they lost to a Valley team was back in 2016 against Weslaco East. And then we have Mercedes against Edinburgh. Mercedes with a big win to start the season over Edinburgh North. Meanwhile, the Annenberg Bobcats, 3-0 to start the season. They've been doing it with a rock-solid offense and a great defense. The offense is averaging 300 yards per game, so that's a game to look out for tonight. And then another one is Sherryland against Brownsville-Hanna. Both of these teams, playoff teams last year. Keep an eye on a gentleman named Javo Lopez out of Sherryland, already with 48 tackles in 3 games, 23 tackles last week. And Brownsville-Hanna had a bye last week because of the inclement weather, over 400 yards of offense. So that a lot of great games tonight, Carlos. And I'm going to finish this taco here. But before we let you go, let's take a shot here at the beanbags. Kids were out here playing earlier, and this is just some of the events that were going on a little bit earlier. The kids are out here playing, tossing the football here. Here come the cheerleaders back. But a lot of excitement going on tonight, Carlos. So we're looking forward to a great game and a great time tonight, Carlos. Let's send it back to you.
Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hanks.
Thank you very much, Mike. I hope you have a good time out there at the tailgate. All right, last week, weather was a factor across the rural Grand Valley, canceling some games, including the one between Weslaco East and Hanna. Tonight, the weather looks hot. Not a cloud in the sky, or maybe a few clouds, but it's...
Number 5, Diego Martinez. With him, his mother, Marisa Garcia, and family.
Of the humidity, and it won't be too windy either. All right, so that is it. The forecast, the precast, everything. The pregame show is now over. We'll see you after the game. It'll be the Weslaco Panthers taking on the Harlingen South Hawks. We'll see you next time right here on K-West.
Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Juan Castillo. Number 13, Marco Noriega. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Pedro Noriega Jr. Number 14, KJ Jones. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Armando Lopez. Number 15 and number 16, Peyton Kanab and Jaden Kanab. With him, his mother, Marla Kanab, and sister, Yasmin Kanab, and grandparents, Felix and Delia Guajardo. Number 20, Jesse Perez, represented by Benita Garcia. Number 21, Jesse Hernandez, represented by parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jesse Hernandez. Number 22, Jay Granados, with him his mother, Mrs. Maureen Granados. Number 23, Jeremy Coronado, represented by his mother, Mrs. Joe Sanchez. Number 25, Jake Espinosa. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Espinosa and family. Number 26, Matthew Calderon, represented by parents Juan Calderon and Roxanne Calderon and family. Number 28, Gabriel Gonzalez. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Gonzalez. Number 30, George Martinez. With him, Coach Ray Bernal. Number 31, Aaron Borjas. With him, his mother, Mrs. Dora Borjas. Number 32, Dante Castillo. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Arturo and Laura Castillo and brother. Number 33, Isaiah Parker. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jarvis and Renee Parker. Number 34, Sal Navarro. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Navarro. Number 38, Brian Diaz. With him his parents, Noe Diaz and Ramona Martinez. Number 40, Ethan Zamora. With him his parents, Lino and Mary Zamora. Jathan Gonzalez. With him his grandmother, Josie Villarreal and brothers. Number 43, Siquio Lozano. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Lozano and sister. Number 44, Seth Sanchez. With him, his parents, Juan and Judy Sanchez. Number 45, Jacob Bailly. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Eddie and Eva Garza, and Mr. and Mrs. Bailly. Number 48, Benito Juarez. Presented by his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Benito Juarez Jr. Number 50, Charles Juarez. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joe and Debbie Juarez. Number 53, Elijah Estebanez. With him, his brother, Christian Estebanez, and cousins, Mike Estebanez. Number 54, Aaron Garcia. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Garcia. Number 55, Lázaro Reyes. With him, his parents, Lázaro Reyes and Deanna Sainz. Number 56, Frederick Salazar. With him, his parents, Federico Salazar and Delfina Salazar. Number 59, Erasmo Garces. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Erasmo Garces. Number 61, Cody Rodriguez. With him, his parents, Roxanne Gonzalez and Carino and Janie Rodriguez. Number 62, Alfredo Moreno. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alfredo and Maria Moreno. Number 63, Francisco Alarcon. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alarcon. Number 64, Rolando Morales. With him, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Buddy and Angela Morales. Number 65, Giovanni Naveja. With him his parents, Ms. Joanne Hernandez and Mr. Juan Naveja. Number 68, Adrian Fuentes. With him his parents, Jose and Maria Fuentes. Number 71, Isias Alvarado. With him his parents, Juan and Maria Alvarado. Number 72, Abraham Rodriguez, accompanied by his father Andres Rodriguez and grandmother Esperanza Caballero. Number 78, Larry Strickland. With him his parents A.U. and Mary Strickland. Number 79, Samuel Perez. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Perez. Number 80, Isaac Villarreal. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Javier Villarreal. Number 88, Rolando Berrones. With him his parents, Marisa and Roy Berrones. Number 92, Alexis Munoz. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Munoz. Number 94, Jesse Ramos. With him his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jesse and Martha Ramos. Trainers, Jeremy and Jacob Delgado. With them their parents, Luis and Marisa Delgado. Dominic Friday. With him, sister Cassandra Friday and Czech Esteva. Bethany Lopez. With her, her mother, Dina Henderson. Citali Puente. With her parents, Juan and Marisol Puente. Olivia Vento, accompanied by her mother, Nelly Vento. Cheerleaders, Caricia Cantu, accompanied by parents, Mr. and Mrs. Joe and Gracie Cantu. Alexi Gonzalez, accompanied by parents, Mr. and Mrs. Adrian and Melinda Gonzalez. Ashley Garcia, accompanied by parents, Mr. and Mrs. David and Lisa Garcia. Daisy Hernandez, accompanied by Mr. Matthew Hernandez and mother, Miss Alma Capetillo. Deidra Juarez, accompanied by parents, Mr. and Mrs. David and Sandra Juarez. Sabrina Turner, accompanied by her father, Mr. Luis Turner, and mother, Miss Annette Valadez. Natalie Villegas, accompanied by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Aurelio and Stacy Villegas. Calista Castillo, accompanied by her parents, Mr. Robert and Marcy Castillo. Dion Aguilar, accompanied by her mother, Ms. Zaida Aguilar. Mia Chuca, accompanied by her parents, Miguel and Esperanza Chuca. Gabriela Daniels, accompanied by Mr. Blake Daniels and mother, Mrs. Sandra Cuadra. Jackie Garcia, accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Vicky Garcia. Jaylin Garcia, accompanied by parents, Mr. and Mrs. Emiliano and Veronica Garcia. Marisa Gutierrez, accompanied by her father, Mr. Ruben Gutierrez. Esmer Ramirez, accompanied by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Aaron and Alicia Ramirez. Ashley Seda, accompanied by her mother, Miss Melissa Banda, grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Arnulfo and Rosie Banda. Carmen Sandoval, accompanied by her father, Mr. Pedro Sandoval, and mother, Miss Imelda Pompa. Brooklyn Solis, accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Noemi Solis. Natalia Trujillo, accompanied by her father, Juan Trujillo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a hand for all of the students and the parents. It's Parents' Night. On behalf of the school district, all the administration, the coaches, all the sponsors, we thank you for allowing your students, your sons and daughters, to participate in these activities. And these folks that you see down there is why WISD is the right choice. Tonight, we would like to recognize Jesus Castillo, Jr., who served the United States Army. Jesus was a part of the Gulf War, taking part in Operation Desert Shield. Mr. Castillo served in Operation Desert Shield in Saudi Arabia and Desert Storm in Kuwait. He is married to Lucia Salazar and has 3 children, Lily, Christy, and Joshua. Incidentally, Mr. Castillo has served as a security guard for the WISD for 36 years. Well, Jesse, needless to say, sir, we salute you and we thank you for your service. Let's give him a round of applause. And now, will you kindly stand and remove all headgear for the presentation of the colors being conducted by the Weslaco High School Junior ROTC. They are under the supervision of Junior ROTC Army Instructor, Sergeant First Class Mario Gonzalez. Color Guard members in the center of the field are United States Rifle Cadet Sergeant Desiree Michael, the United States Flag Cadet Captain Stacy Trejo, the Texas Flag Cadet First Sergeant Sheila Tovara, and the Texas Rifle Cadet Sergeant Norma Melendrez. And now, the Panther Corps will honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
One, two.
welcome. We are in Weslaco, Texas. It is time for Weslaco Panthers football. Along with Clay Williams, I'm Scott Harrison, bringing you all the action. And tonight, traveling to visit Weslaco is the Harlingen South Hawks. They are in District 32-6A. They are 2-1 on the season so far. Their last game, a big shutout of McAllen, 38-0. And of course, the host Panthers. So far, they're a perfect 3-0 in this season. And their last victory, it came on the road against PSJ North, 45-27. They are District 31-6A. This is a non-district game for Weslaco before they open district action next week on the road in Edinburgh against Economides. And Clay, good to have you back as always and talk about what's going to be seen here early.
Well, Harlingen South is one of those teams that definitely likes to run the ball. They've got two great running backs who pretty much equally dispense with the rushing attempts. Corbin Hendrick and Emilio Quiros. Hendrick with 39 carries, Quiros with 36, 6 touchdowns between the two. So this will be a running team, and we'll see Harlingen South's offense on the field first as Weslaco won the toss but deferred until the second half. Harlingen South elected to receive. Weslaco will defend the south end zone, and we're almost ready for the kickoff here, Scott.
All right, it's going to be exciting action. These teams used to be in district, and last year Weslaco defeated the Hawks 28-25, so it was a close matchup.
Absolutely was a very close one. Could have gone either way last year, but this year, this is a different Weslaco team. You know, you mentioned 3-0, and they have been dominant in all three of their wins, including the win over PSJ North last week. PSJ North and Harlingen South played to an almost a standstill. South ended up winning that game, but when Weslaco took on the Raiders last week, it was pretty much a blowout. So if you go by common opponents, this should be a win for the Panthers.
And George Martinez kicks off the ball, and it is going to go into the end zone. And right now we have the starting offense, or actually say defense, for Weslaco. All right, and here they are coming out on the field. And this defense, Marco Noriega shaken up a little bit last week. He is back in there again. And Roy Trevino, though, he's in street clothes tonight. We won't see him, but still plenty of guys in there that can do the job. And we start off with a run, and not much picked up on that run by Corbin Hendrick.
Yeah, Hendrick got pretty mauled as he went up to the line of the defense for Weslaco. It's tough that Roy Trevino won't be playing. Of course, he went both ways, playing free safety and wide receiver. Another injury for Weslaco tonight on the offensive line. That's Alfredo Moreno, the offensive tackle. He's also in street clothes tonight.
So it is going to be second down and a pickup of about 3 on that play. And here is the quarterback throwing a pass, and it is broken up. And the quarterback tonight is going to be David Torres. He is a junior, and he can pass the ball, but doesn't do it that often. Only has a couple touchdown passes, but can be effective. And, of course, big time last week against McAllen.
Yeah, he can definitely be effective, but right there, that pass got tipped at the line. That turned into a bit of a wounded duck. Could have easily been intercepted by Weslaco, and Harlingen South pretty lucky that it wasn't.
So it is going to be third down coming up, third down and about 7. Ball is at about the 33-yard line of Harlingen South in their own territory. Again, the Hawks got the spread offense. We have one back in the backfield, and ball about to be snapped. And at this time, the quarterback going toward his left side, and he is going to be tackled down about the 20-yard line, and there's going to be a big loss of about 7 on that play.
Yeah, fantastic there by Jesse Ramos, the big senior defensive end for Weslaco, tracking him down. He was blocked the whole way, but never lost sight of Torres and was able to track him down and make sure that he hit the ground. Now that brings up a 4th and long. That's what this Weslaco defense does. It puts the other offense in a bad position, gives them bad field position, and that's exactly what we've got right here.
So it's going to be 4th down and about 13. Ball at the 22. Have to move it down to the 35, and the punting will be coming up right now. And I believe it's Lerma who is going to be punting the ball, Jose Lerma. And he is going to be getting the punt off around his own 10-yard line. So good field position should be coming up for the home team. And it is Denna back there, and he is going to let the ball bounce. And again, as we mentioned, good field position. We mentioned in the pregame show talking about Denna. He is a good player. And now we are going to have the offense come on the field for Weslaco.
Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Copyright, Weslaco's digital print, photography, and design shop.
Jacob Cavazos, Jr.
Peyton Knob, Jr.
Devin Denna, Senior. Jaden Cavazos, Jr.
Diego Martinez, Senior.
Isaac Viriato, Senior. Coro Rodriguez, Senior. Erasmo Garces III, Sophomore.
Fred Salazar, Senior.
Roland Morales, Sophomore.
Francisco Larcon, Senior.
Copyright. Copies done right.
On this team that's not the quarterback, Jacob Cavazos is the straw that stirs the drink for this offense. He leads in rushing and in passing yards, of course. The young man, quite a quarterback, one of the best in the Valley this year.
And last game, 7 carries. And again, here is another running play, and it's going to be a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, they're lucky they made anything on that one. Knob and Cavazos collided in the backfield during the handoff. They were lucky they didn't lose the ball or lose any yardage, but they didn't either, and now they face a 3rd and short.
Yeah, picked up a few on that one.
Yeah.
Going to be about 2 yards for the first down. Have to get it down to the 34-yard line. They are in Hawk territory. Good field position after the punt, and we'll see if Weslaco can capitalize. Now here goes Jacob Cavazos sweeping around the left side. He's out of the 32-yard line, got a couple more yards than he needed for the first down.
And a great block by Peyton Knob that time, leading the way, making sure that his quarterback got that first down. And now it's only 31 yards from pay dirt for this Weslaco offense. What we've seen is that they score early, they keep the ball, the Panthers do, and they pretty much drive the opponents into the ground. That's what they've done the first 3 weeks of the season. Let's see if they can do it here.
So 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Motion over on the left side, and there's a whistle, and we're going to have our first penalty. And you were talking about Jacob Cavazos. I mentioned he had 7 carries.
Actually, on the offense, number 64. Fire penalty, still first down.
There's that old false start bugaboo. Still haven't gotten that one all the way cured yet.
Opening game had double digits of that. Cavazos in the last game, 15 carries for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. So he can definitely run the ball. And on the season, obviously a very strong rusher. And again, we wait the next play. It is going to be first down and 15 and another penalty.
And looks like another false start. And Coach Michael Salinas demonstrative out on the field at the 50-yard line.
Offense, number 1, the fire penalty, still first down.
And Cavazos again on the season rushing 42 for 260 yards, 6.2 average, 3 touchdowns, as Clay you were saying earlier. Talk more about what's happening now.
Yeah, and what happens is usually early in the game, that's when Jacob Cavazos gets his rushing yards. And what happens is the defense has to make up for that, and they have to mark him. And when that happens, that's when you get more people open. And the second half, or after Weslaco takes a big enough lead, that's when the passing yards tend to come. And when Weslaco's really able to open it up.
Okay, another flag, so 3 straight plays. Penalties, looks like another one against the Panthers.
False start on the offense, 64, the 5-yard penalty, still first down.
15 yards in false starts. I just saw Coach Michael Salinas, I saw both of his feet off the ground at the same time. That's how hot he is. He's got to be, man.
Brian Ritchie, head coach of the Hawks, and Michael Salinas, head coach of the Panthers, 2nd season, now at the 500 mark after last week's win. He's 6-6, and Cavazos going back to pass, and he feels the pressure. It's tipped at the line. It looks like someone hit his arm. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 25.
That was more than just hitting his arm. Sebastian Garrett laid him out. Watch him on this play as he's trying to stay open, but Garrett just comes through and almost wraps him up right as he lets go of the ball. He's lucky he had a little forward motion there. That brings up 2nd and 25.
Have to get the ball down to about the 22-yard line, and right now they're back at the 46, still in Hawks territory. So Cavazos has it, Jacob Cavazos, and he runs around the left side, gets about 3 yards at most. And we're talking about Cavazos. Last week, Jacob only completed 7 passes, and believe it or not, Jaden Cavazos did not have a reception. A lot of rushing last week. We'll see if more passing this week.
Yeah, it was that kind of game, of course. And once Weslaco got up so big in the 3rd quarter over PSG North, some of the substitution, started happening. Starters had to come back in once PSG North scored a lot, but.
So 3rd down and long, Cavazos back to pass, and he's being pressured once again, and he is going to be sacked back in his own territory, back at the 43-yard line. It looks like he didn't get it off.
That's a completed pass to Peyton Knob.
All right, the last second he got it off.
Got that one off to Knob out in the right flats, able to get about 10 yards after the catch. He's pretty lucky he didn't get taken down once again, this time by Ethan Gonzalez. Ethan Gonzalez, he's the heart and soul of this Hawks defense, just a junior middle linebacker. He leads the team with 17 tackles, and he's already got 1 sack on the season.
All right, so it is going to be...
Looks like a timeout.
Yeah, 4th down at about 13. And Peyton Knab, of course, has 1 reception for a touchdown, but last week got his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season. So Peyton doing a good job, and we'll have to see when Coronado might get in there tonight. He had some sort of arm injury, I believe, that kept him out the first 3 games of the season. And again, the first time out of the ball game.
Coach Salinas just has to be disgusted. I mean, this team was moving the ball at will, and then 3 straight false start penalties. That's a good way to shoot yourself in the foot early on.
And we've talked about Devin Dana. He has had a touchdown reception in each game so far this year, so we expect maybe we'll see something from him. Who knows if he gets a pass now. We'll have to see if Jaden Cavazos gets his first pass reception in a couple games. A lot of things could happen right now, but they do decide to punt.
Well, maybe. Of course, don't forget, Jacob Cavazos is the punter and the quarterback here. If he sees something he likes, but nope, goes with a rugby-style kick. Just a little long.
Goes into the end zone, so the Hawks will get their second possession of the game.
That's one of the first times this season we've seen where Weslaco did not capitalize on early good field position. Against PSG North, against McAllen Rowe, against Ed Couch-Elsa, they were able to capitalize early in all 3 of those games and really get a touchdown, but not this time around.
All right, let's have the defensive lineup now for Weslaco.
Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Copyright, Weslaco's digital print, photography, and design shop.
Matthew Calderon, senior. Axel Camarena, senior. Jaden Knab, senior.
Jake Espinosa, senior. Raul Camarena, senior.
Jacob Bailly, senior.
Marco Noriega, senior. Seth Sanchez, senior.
Benito Juarez, senior.
Sam Perez, senior.
Jesse Ramos, senior.
Copyright, copies done right.
The first play from scrimmage on that series only picks up about a yard.
Yeah, Samuel Perez, you just saw him on the introductions. He comes up with a big tackle there, the defensive tackle, really gumming up the works inside.
This time Torres making a pass attempt, and it is out of bounds. Trying to find his favorite receiver, Derek Delgado. He has 17 catches this year for 247 yards, averaging over 14 yards a catch, has 1 touchdown, and against McAllen last week, had 8 catches for 84 yards, so we need to watch out for Delgado tonight.
Yeah, when he catches the ball, it's a first down every single time, averaging 15 yards per catch. He's definitely the dangerous one.
There he is.
But that pass was going nowhere but out of bounds by Torres that time.
So it's going to be 3rd, maybe about a long 9 coming up. Ball is near the 20-yard line. Harlingen South has it, and this time Torres going to go toward his right, and he is going to be tripped up, ankle tackle, back around the 14-yard line, loss of about 6.
Yeah, that's Jathan Gonzalez coming around from the left side and going in. That's an excellent job, a great open field tackle by Jathan Gonzalez.
All right, so we'll await the punt. And again, good crowd out here for both teams. Harlingen just down the road. I know you live over there. What's it about? 20 miles?
It's Harlingen versus Weslaco 2 for tonight. Weslaco High, of course, hosting Harlingen South here. Meanwhile, the Weslaco East Wildcats are at Bogus Stadium in Harlingen taking on the Cardinals.
So 4th down and 16.
Number 83 will punt, Jose Lerma.
And it's Lerma. Lerma will be in his own end zone.
Den is a set up at the 50, but he won't have to be that deep.
Ball will bounce, and it's going to be down right about at midfield.
Second straight possession for Weslaco's offense where they're going to be able to start inside Harlingen South's zone. So more great field position for the Panthers.
Talking about Cavazos, Jacob last week, 7 out of 14 for 83 yards, but 3 touchdowns. So of his 7 passes that were completed, 3 for touchdowns. That's a great percentage.
Yeah, that's highly efficient. That's an efficient use of your passing game, that's for certain.
And of course, overall, 10 touchdown passes on the season. He has completed 32 of 53 passes for 402 yards and those 10 touchdowns, also rushed for 3. So he is big time. All right, We're going to have a running play. And
Peyton Knopf just lost the ball.
Yes, ball is fumbled about the 40-yard line after a pickup of 5. Looks like the Hawks have it.
Yeah, the Hawks have it. That's recovered by Ethan Gonzalez. We mentioned him, the big middle linebacker for Harlingen South. That's a big turnover. That's something we have not seen from Weslaco in the first halves of any of their games so far this season have been turnovers, but Peyton Knopf got hit hard and coughed up the ball there, so Harlingen South will start with it at their own 39.
All right, turnovers, always a critical point of games, and we haven't seen much from the running backs this year. Fumbles.
No, that's
Weslaco.
That's the first time I can remember Peyton Knopf fumbling all year, so we haven't seen any interceptions by Cavazos, haven't seen many fumbles, but it's got to happen sometime.
All right, first running play. It's going to be a nice run. It's going to be over the 50-yard line down to about the 43, and it's going to be a pickup of over 15 yards, and that is the big running back taking that ball, and that is number 11, and that is Emilio Quiros.
Yeah, Quiros, and now they're going hurry up. No huddle offense for Harlingen South. They give it to Quiros again.
Quiros has it again, and he is going to get about 4 or 5 yards down inside the 40. So 2 big runs back to back, and on those 2 runs, he picks up a total of 21 yards on 2 carries. His first 2 carries of the night.
You'll notice that Coach Michael Salinas and Coach Brian Ritchie have a lot in common. After big gains, they like to go to no huddle offenses.
And again, a running play. This time only going to pick up maybe a yard or 2, and the back is down. I believe it was Quiros again. Short gain.
Now that time it was Orlando Muniz.
Who was it?
Orlando Muniz with they had him in there. And now, so they're rotating running backs, and now Corbin Hendrick is in there for Harlingen South now.
Right.
So they've got lots of different players that they like to give the ball.
And it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Ball is at the 38-yard line. In Weslaco territory, no score, under 6 minutes remaining. So a fast first quarter so far. Both teams have played each other quite a bit in the past, former district opponents. And the run this time is going to go inside the 30 to the 34-yard line. And this time it is Hendrick. Remember, he had Torres. I'm sorry, who had it? No.
Yeah, that was Corbin Hendrick.
Yeah,
with
I thought it was.
I
heard on the PA it sounded different, but he is about a yard away from a first down now.
That was a big hole straight up the middle that Harlingen South's offensive line was able to open up.
All right, motion left to right, and now is going to be again. It looks like Corbin has the ball, and he's got a first down at the 30, and he picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
This rushing offense is the real deal for Harlingen South. Weslaco is going to have to make some adjustments. Right now, they're back on their heels, and they're back on their own 30.
And Corbin last week had a 67-yard run for a touchdown. So this time it's a delayed handoff, and it's not going to go anywhere this time. There's going to be a loss of about 2 yards on that play.
Raul Camarena with the big hit behind the line of scrimmage, but there's a flag on the play.
Gabriel Perez with the ball this time. Raul Camarena, who made the tackle. We've talked about him a lot.
On the offense for 68. A 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That definitely slows Harlingen South's momentum because they had a lot of it. It's exactly what Weslaco needed.
All right, ball will go back to the 40-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 20. And now there's going to be some motion.
There's a jailbreak and there's a flag. There was something going on there. It's going to be interesting because they completed that pass.
Right.
If the flag is on Weslaco, that's going to be a huge gain for Harlingen South, all the way down to about the 13-yard line.
About a 27-yard reception by Delgado.
Who is it on? It looked to me like one of Weslaco's defensive linemen burst through the line early. Was he offsides or was there a false start?
Offsides on the defense.
It was offsides on the defense.
Declined. The result of the play is a first down.
What a smart play that time by David Torres, the quarterback. Realizes he's got a free play, just tosses it up because he knows that it was offsides. And, you know, when Derek Delgado came down with it, couldn't ask for anything better.
Another pass. It's going toward the end zone and knocked away at the last second, intended for Delgado. Great play at the last second by Raul Camarena.
Fantastic pass defense that time. Unbelievable. That's actually Axel Camarena.
Axel, yeah.
got so many Camarines on the field, but perfect move to just come up really strong with his hands at exactly the right point in time.
Well, Axel has a couple interceptions this year, so he knows what he's doing there on defense. So we have 2nd down and 10, ball at the 13. Going to be a running play, and this time it's going to go down near a 1st down, and it's Hendrick. Gains almost 10 on that play.
Once again, a huge hole up the middle. This Harlingen South offensive line making things happen. Look at it. Hendrick's not even touched until he gets 5 yards downfield.
All right. They give him 9 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Ball inside the 5-yard line. We'll mark it at the 4. Torres at quarterback. Hands it off once again. And it's going to be not much yardage. Well, maybe second effort. We'll have to see where they mark the tackle that time. Hendrick with the ball.
Yeah, we'll see if they say that he stopped him and the forward motion had been stopped, or whether they're going to let him fall forward. Looked like he was stopped right there, but by the time he goes down, maybe an extra yard. 4th and 1 on the 4-yard line. This is a big play.
You know, Weslaco has a big play defense. We've seen them do a lot this year. So there is Torres, and he is going to be pushed back, it looks like. And let's see what the ball is marked. No first down. No first down.
What an incredible play. That was a misplay by Harlingen South's offense. It was obviously going to be a quarterback sneak, but the quarterback was not ready. The center snapped it early. Quarterback was not ready.
Watch it.
Look at that, as Weslaco's defense holds on 4th and 1 on their own 4-yard line. What a huge play right there, and great for Jesse Ramos to make sure that on the second effort that Torres doesn't get anything. So Weslaco stops Harlingen South, but now they find themselves 95 yards away from 96 yards away from their own end zone.
So these kind of plays build character. You know, I really had a feeling Weslaco was going to stop them. You know, I really did.
They lucked out there that the center snapped it too early for Harlingen South. They certainly did.
Sometimes better to be lucky than skillful.
Absolutely.
So the ball is handed off this time, and it is going to be Peyton Kanab, and he falls forward for about 2 yards. 2nd down, about 8.
Kanab getting the tough yards here. Jeremy Coronado still walking around on the sidelines. Has not come into this game yet, but looks like he's ready to go whenever he gets the call.
And Julian Sarna with the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7. And this time, Cavasso is going to throw it over to the left side, and it's Denna, and Denna is going to get down to about the 17-yard line. So he is going to get about 10 on that play, 10 or 11.
Yeah, what a smart play. You send 2 receivers over to the left side. Jaden Cavazos throws the great block, basically sets a pick in basketball terminology for Denna to get some extra yards and able to get that 1st down.
Okay, so we're going to have 1st and 10. And eventually we'll see the ball is going to be marked. Looks like about the 16. Motion. And now it's going to be a jet sweep, and it's going to be Jaden Kanab, and he is going to get a couple yards on that. Not much good lateral pursuit that time by the Hawks.
Yeah, exactly. Jaden Cavazos could not find much room to run around there. Harlingen South able to just keep that play teased out down the left side until finally coming up with it, David Cortez with the big tackle.
So it's going to be a 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9, under 2 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Ball at the 22-yard line. This time, Cavazos goes back to pass, and it's going to go downfield. Almost intercepted that time. It was intended for Denna, but it looked like it almost went to Enrique Alvarado.
Yeah, that was a pass that was offline. It was supposed to be a post pattern, but Cavazos didn't quite put enough on it. It comes up short. Alvarado almost came up with the
Denna became a defender.
Yeah, Denna definitely became the defender there. 3rd and long now. This is a big play for Weslaco's offense.
3rd down and 9. Again, no score first quarter. Harlingen South and Weslaco here at Bobby Lackey Stadium. So here is Cavazos throwing it ahead. Denna is open this time, and he is going to be down near the 42-yard line. Very nice gain on that play, and he picked up maybe about 22, 23 yards.
Yeah, and a little extracurricular after the play there. Things already starting to get chippy, but that's a huge mistake by Harlingen South's defense. How can you leave Devin Denna all alone coming across the middle? Just on a straight slant, he was right there, and He didn't see anybody coming to tackle him until he had already gotten the first down and a lot more.
1st and 10 near the 41-yard line. Running play this time going to be up near midfield. Good gain on that play of about 9 yards by Peyton Knopf.
Like I said, getting the tough yards every time. Got to get a couple of yards at least on that first play of a series, and right there, 4 yards gives it to 2nd and 6.
Yeah, so they officially say 4-yard gain, and the ball is down at the 45-yard line.
That's a generous 4 yards. It looks more like 3.
All right. Cavazos this time passing over to the right side, and this time Jaden Cavasso gets it. Did not get any receptions last game, but this time he will get a first down, and he picks up a nice gain of about 8 yards.
Yeah, and getting into Harlingen South territory, finally the Weslaco offense starting to really run a little more like clockwork, like what we expect. Harlingen South was scary, their offense. You want to keep them off the field as much as possible, I think.
Trips over on the left side, and this time it will go to Jaden Cavazos. He's hit hard, but he breaks away. He's at the 30. He's at the 25, 20. Nobody is going to catch him. He is going to go, it looks like, into the end zone, hits the pylon. No, they're going to say he's out at the 2. Looked like he was going to go there, but a last-second tackle prevents the touchdown. Still a very, very nice play on that one. A gain of about 44 yards.
Yeah, and when you look again at this one, you'll see that right there should have been done and dusted by number 21, Isaac Moreno. Instead,
and quick play.
It's a touchdown.
Yes, Peyton Knopf, 2-yard run for a touchdown. So Peyton gets his 3rd touchdown rushing in 2 games, and that is the first score of the night. As we have just 18 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, Panthers now go ahead of the Hawks 6-0.
And you look back and you say, what was the turning point? What was the thing that started this up? It was the 4th and 1 stop by the defense. It was the early snap by Harlingen South Center that kept them from getting any closer than the 4-yard line.
And here comes Mr. Almost Automatic, George Martinez. And the ball is down, and it is good. Martinez, so far, according to our stats, has hit 16 out of 17 extra points this season, 2 out of 3 in field goals. So very quickly, team goes down the field after, again, Clay talked about the big defensive play, and they capitalize as they go 96 yards for the score, and they go ahead 7-0, 18 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And I'll tell you what, that defense really motivated the offense.
Yeah, certainly did. And to go 96 yards and to do it without any false start penalties after you had 3 in a row in your last drive that killed your last drive, basically. You know, you can tell that the coaches got after these guys and said, look, not against this team. You cannot make those mistakes against this Harlingen South team. This is probably the best team that Weslaco has faced all year long. So if they want to get a win here, no more false start penalties, 94, 96-yard drives, and stops on 4th and 1 are going to have to be the norm, not the exception.
Well, a big 44-yard play, got the ball down to the 2, so big plays helped on that, good defense.
Yep.
Multiple good things happening now, at least at this moment for Weslaco.
Yeah, huge passes to Devin Denna and Jaden Cavazos on that drive were the big plays that really set up the 2-yard touchdown run by Peyton Knopf.
Martinez kicking off from his 40. Ball is up, and it will go bounce near the end zone. It's going to be picked up, and it's going to be brought out, and the ball will not go very far. Gets to just the 7-yard line.
Orlando Muniz taken down hard by Diego Martinez. Martinez had a bead on him. Had him between his sights. Take another look here because you see that Muniz actually taking it back out of the end zone, but he had to, and then bang, bang. Yeah, Diego Martinez had him dead in his sights.
And remember last week, only 7 completions for Cavazos, but 2 of them went to Martinez, 1 for a touchdown, and Martinez had 37 yards in receptions last week.
Yeah, we haven't seen Martinez much on offense this game. He might be more needed on defense the way this Harlingen South offense ran in their last drive.
So Torres hands it off to Hendrick, and Hendrick only going to get a couple yards, tries to go off tackle, doesn't get much at all.
Not much at all. Elijah Estevanes, the big defensive end in there, getting a nice stop. Right there, as well as Jacob Bailly getting the big stop as well. That's going to be in the end of the quarter.
End of the first quarter, 7-0 right now. It's Weslaco over the Hawks of Harlingen South. And Clay, after 1 quarter of play, we've seen some tough plays. We've seen some bad plays. But overall, the last drive, Weslaco put it all together. So what is your summary of this first quarter?
Well, it all comes down to those last 2 drives by each team. Harlingen South drove all the way down to the Weslaco 4, could not convert on 4th and 1. It turns it over to Weslaco. Weslaco takes it 96 yards the other way. Some great completions, perfect passes from Jacob Cavazos to guys like Jaden Cavazos and Devin Denna, and that was huge, and that, it set the tone. Weslaco able to convert where Harlingen South wasn't, and that's what ends up being a 7-0 lead for Weslaco. We're used to Weslaco getting the early lead in these games. Maybe we were a little nervous about this one, but once again, they've got it after that first quarter.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 8-yard line. This time we'll see the Hawks moving toward the north in the second quarter. And the ball goes to Torres. David Torres, the quarterback. He's going to throw a short pass, and the runner back is going to go out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 5 on that play, and it's Christian Cortez.
Yeah, Christian Cortez could not keep himself from going out of bounds. Take a look as he was headed right for the sidelines when he gets this pass, and by the time he gets it and turns around, his momentum takes him out of bounds. Or else he could have gotten another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, went out a little earlier than we saw. We're at the far it's at the far sideline where it happened, so it's actually 3rd down and 8 coming up. First play of the second quarter. And ball is near the 10-yard line. And we have a slot over on the left side. Torres has it. This time he'll throw to the right, and looks like it is to Delgado, and enough for the first down. Got about 9 or 10.
Yeah, quick pass there, not even a drop back. He basically gets from right under center and then just heaves it, gives it right to Delgado. By the time Axel Camarena got there, it was already a first down for the Hawks.
All right. So we're going to have a 1st and 10. Ball is going to go upfield down to about the 25-yard line.
Look at this little West Coast offense that Harlingen South is running. Little dinks and dunks, getting the ball moving. They've decided apparently that the running game isn't going to work against this defensive line of Weslaco, so they're going to have to go for the quick passes instead.
Gabriel Perez on the reception. Pick up a 5 on that play. Ball around the 25-yard line. And they're going to call it 2nd and 5. And with the ball going around the right side, picks up very little yardage. And it's going to be Quiros this time, but picks up a little yardage.
Yeah, he got a little more than he should have, to tell the truth. There was a Weslaco defender who had him dead to rights early on, but Quiros able to get past that tackle, get down for another couple of yards, make it 2nd and 3.
All right, ball now at the 26-yard line.
3rd and 3. I'm not sure which one's right, scoreboard or the flagman.
Yeah, we'll say the flagman.
Yeah, we'll go with him.
We looked at the scoreboard, but we'll let the flagman be right. And Quiros, once again, he's going to fall forward, maybe gets a couple yards, still going to be a couple yards short of the first down.
Yeah, if that brings up 4th and 1, be an interesting call here for Brian Ritchie and the Harlingen South Hawks. They don't think it's that's not a tough call at all. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1.
And there's a flag. Quiros, by the way, so far this season, doing a good job. 36 carries, 268 yards, averaging over 7 yards a rush, and has a couple touchdowns. Rushed 10 times for 67 yards against McAllen.
On the defense, number 79, the 5-yard penalty, makes it a first down.
What a mistake for Weslaco's defense. Had them at 4th and 1, and to jump off sides like that and give them the first down without them having to run a play, not what you want to see. They had a chance to get some good field position, but instead, it's a new set of downs for Harlingen South.
So ball at the 32, first down, and it is a short pass. And this time there's going to be a pickup maybe of about 6 on that play, and it goes to Austin Montalvo.
This is a young Harlingen South team. You'll see a few seniors in the mix, but there's a lot of juniors making plays for this squad.
And this time, it is Quiros with the ball, and he's going to spin around, and he is going to be short of the first down.
Once again, Quiros gets the first hit, but then, our favorite acronym, YAC.
Yes.
Except this time it's yards after contact. Yep. And
got a couple.
Yeah, got a couple of extra yards. Instead of 3rd and 5, it's 3rd and 2.
Yep.
That's what a coach likes to see.
All right. Ball is at the 40-yard line inside the territory of the Hawks. Corbin Hendrick at running back, and it's going to be handed off to him, and he is going to fall short, it looks like, of the first down. Going to be close, but I think he didn't make it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he made it. Looks like a great play that time by Jathan Gonzalez, coming up and getting the big hit, wrapping him up at his ankles. Take a look right there, making sure that he doesn't quite get to that flag. 4th and a short one, but they're going for it again.
You can't blame them. Torres calling out the signals.
Looks over.
Yeah,
trying to catch him offsides again. Weslaco won't be caught doing the same thing twice.
No. Good coaching here, obviously, Coach Salinas.
Down to 10 on the play clock.
And it's going to be Corbin, and he is going to fall forward. They stopped him at the line, but then he fell forward for a couple yards and got the first down.
Once again, those second effort yards by Harlingen South making the difference here.
So another first down. Ball approaching midfield. And Perez on the stop.
With these short passes and lots of running, this game's going to go quick.
That's right, and another short pass, this time incomplete to Delgado. And Axel Camarena, we see him on the video there, did a nice job defending Delgado. Actually, Delgado looked a little upset afterwards, kind of pushed Camarena away.
Yeah, there was some miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver there. One of them was going the wrong route.
So it's going to be second down and 10. Ball around the 43-yard line of the Hawks. Motion, this time quarterback Torres has it. It's going to pitch it back. It is going to be Hendrick, and Hendrick is going to move forward, and he is going to be down. Looks like he got about 11 yards for the first.
Yeah, it's real close. Yep, they're going to call it a first down. Beautiful pitch that time. They were lined up really interestingly. Everybody was close, but then the receiver in motion runs back and throws a good block, opens it up that time for Corbin Hendrick.
Hendrick, 39 carries for 257 yards this season, 4 touchdowns, averaging over 6 yards a carry. So Quiros, he averages over 7 yards a carry. Hendrick over 6 yards a carry. That's a pretty good tandem of running backs.
It's a fantastic tandem. They're almost equal. Each of them came in here with 35-plus carries. They like to call some running back tandems thunder and lightning, but this team's more like thunder and thunder. They're both big guys who get hard yards.
So there is timeout on the field. And again, next week it's going to be district play. New district this year, and it's going to be a road game. Economides up there in Edinburgh, that's where Weslaco goes. And of course, if you're a fan of Harlingen South, they're going to have an early game against Odessa High next Saturday at 11 a.m., non-district.
Yeah, a lot of those, all those Lower Valley 6A teams will be playing teams from up in the Panhandle and West Texas, teams like Odessa, Midland, a couple of other teams from up that way. But Weslaco, they'll be getting ready for their foray into the Edinburgh ranks. 4 Edinburgh teams, and this Economides team, Scott.
Right.
They've played 4 games thus far, and they've only allowed 7 points total.
Wow. They won, what, last night over Roma? 17-0?
17-0. They don't score a lot, but they've had 3 shutouts so far this year. The only team that beat them 7-0. So their defense is something that Weslaco has not seen. Weslaco has not seen a real strong, tough defense yet this year, like they'll see next week with the Economides Jaguars and Coach Gabe Pena.
Ball now in Weslaco territory at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10. David Torres at quarterback. And he'll get the snap. He drops back. He's going to throw it and throw it well downfield. And it is going to not quite get to the receiver. And, of course, it was Delgado. Delgado very good at running after it, but couldn't quite catch it. Good defense, too.
Yeah, Axel Camarena was with him step by step. Perfect coverage right there. I mean, Derek Delgado's got a couple of inches on Camarena, as you can see right there. But Camarena right there, right place, right time, good defense.
All right, so it's going to be now, I believe, 2nd down and 10. Ball.
Interesting that Harlingen South wanted to go long on that 1st and 10 play. They wanted to break it open.
All right, motion left to right, but it's going to be handed off this time. And the back is not going to get much, maybe a couple yards, and tripped up that time. Quiros.
Yeah, and it's our old buddy Marco Noriega right there in the middle making the big tackle, the middle linebacker. He got nicked up a little bit last week, but looks none the worse for wear this week. Of course, the leading tackler for the Weslaco Panthers, a senior, a captain.
14 tackles, 10 solo.
Yeah, he's amazing. And it's good to see him back in here. Was worried last week, I should say, when he went out twice in the game with injuries, but looks perfectly healthy today.
So 3rd and long, about 8 or 9. Again, Torres at quarterback. This time he drops back, fakes the handoff, play action down the field, and throws it too high for his intended receiver. That is Delgado. Of course, he's a tall guy, but even he couldn't reach it.
No, and once again, that's either the wrong route or a bad pass, one way or the other, because Delgado was open, but and instead, this Weslaco defense doing what we expected to do, what it's done in these last 3 weeks, which is stiffen up when they need to.
4th and long coming up. And this time, again, spread formation as they do all the time. But it's going to be a punt. So it went back to the quarterback. He's another one of those guys that can punt.
Oh,
and it's fumbled.
Camarena.
It's fumbled at the 21-yard line. It's live, but it looks like Weslaco is going to get the ball. And I'll tell you what, that was a scary moment. But finally, it is fallen on upon, and a good job by Jaden Knob. He has an interception this year and now makes a very, very smart play to save disaster for the Panthers.
Yeah, take another look as this one basically goes right through Axel Camarena's hands. Harlingen South had a lot of bodies there, but nobody could get on the ball. Jaden Knob loses some yards, but that's better than losing the ball.
That's right. So it's going to be 1st and 10 back at about the 13-yard line for Weslaco. By the way, they're going to move toward the scoreboard, and new scoreboard this year, isn't it gorgeous?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's great. It gives you all the information you need, lets you know how many timeouts are left.
Big picture.
Oh, huge.
Even a blind guy like I can see it. So. All right, it's Peyton Knob this time, and he is going to get a few yards, a good second effort, and maybe gets 3 or 4, but a lot of it was his own effort and the surge of the offensive line. You're an offensive lineman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like to see the big boys in the trenches get their due, and this offensive line for Weslaco has been eating them up all year long, but not getting as much tonight as they have the first 3 games of the season.
So we'll give them, be generous, say 3 and 2nd down and 7. And again, Jacob Cavazos, what a pleasant surprise this year, the maturity of this young man. He passes now over Denna, and Denna, we'll see if he can get Yak and gets over the 20-yard line. That's going to be also, maybe he picks up about 5, still 3 yards to go for the first.
Yeah, they're trying to pass over there, you know, kind of get a lot of bodies over there so that people can throw blocks after the short pass, but Harlingen South defense sniffing that one out pretty early.
So again, we're going to have 3rd down and 3. Pretty young lady cheering on her team. And now here is the snap, and Jacob Cavazos has it, throws it ahead, underthrows the ball that time, and no good to Jaden Cavazos. He was right near where the 1st down marker was, but even he felt maybe he could have dived a little more, but I think it was just a badly thrown pass.
Yeah, the punt team's going to come on. Jacob Cavazos, you know, you wonder, because he was on the move when he threw that pass. You wonder if he would have maybe stopped, set. He wasn't being chased.
Well, he was
that
a little
hard.
upset after the play.
Yeah. He thinks maybe that he should have thrown a better one.
But I think more, again, it was just a tough play.
True.
You know, it would have been very difficult for him to make that catch. But I liked his effort, and I liked the fact that he was upset. That shows a competitor. All right, Jacob Cavazos punts it away, and it's going to bounce. And it will be down near midfield, maybe about the 46-yard line of Harlingen South, and that's what will take over 1st and 10. So looks like tonight Weslaco is going to need a tough defensive effort.
Yeah, certainly does, and I believe this is like the best field position Harlingen South has started with in this game. They've had some pretty long drives, and now they've only got about 53 yards to go.
And again, the Hawks, they lost to Edinburgh 34-21, and they had a good game against PSJ, a common opponent, PSJ North. Defeated them 24-23, and then shut out McAllen 38-0. Brian Ritchie, his 3rd season as a head coach, and he is 9-14. Do you know Mr. Ritchie very well?
I certainly do. He came here from Richmond George Ranch, where he won a state championship with Richmond George Ranch the year before he got to Harlingen South.
And a catch not made, but maybe interference called as the pass is sent out, and that was, I believe, to Bennett, okay? Brady Bennett, and he actually had a touchdown last week against McAllen and had 5 catches for 77 yards last week, over a 15-yard average per catch. And actually, that's the season. Bennett has 5 catches for 77 yards, over a 15-yard.
Holding. Defense, number 42, on an eligible pass receiver. It's a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And again, Bennett, 5 catches for 77 yards, over 15 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. That was against McAllen last week. Had 2 catches for 28 yards against McAllen.
So holding the call instead of pass interference, that means that the penalty happened before the ball was in the air. And that's why it's only 10 yards.
Okay, running play over the right side, Corbin Hendrick, and he is going to be ankle tackled after short gain.
Marco Noriega, number 13, is unlucky for the other team, people. Marco Noriega, the middle linebacker, once again stringing it out, and then when it's time to make the play, closing with some incredible speed.
All right, it is going to be 2nd down and 10. Clock moving, approaching 5 minutes remaining here in the opening half. And it is Weslaco leading 7-0. Back to pass is Torres. Torres lobbing it downfield. Again, tries for Bennett, and he couldn't make it, but a good defensive play that time to stop him was Jaden Kanab.
Yeah, stayed right with him. Jaden Kanab did. You know what? They could have called holding right there on Kanab. He had him pretty tied up, but after 5 yards, let him go and then stayed with him. Was able to get a hand on that ball as it comes down.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
You see what's out there, Scott, is that these wide receivers for Harlingen South all have a height advantage on the Weslaco Panthers defenders. And they're trying to take advantage of it, but Weslaco's defenders are pretty fast, staying right with them.
And again, another pass is to the right side, and it's good to Delgado. Delgado is going to get the necessary yardage, about 10 or more yards, and gets the first down.
Once again, you look at these guys. You look at guys like Delgado and Brady Bennett. These guys are big. These guys are over 6 foot tall. And Harlingen South is starting to realize that they can use some of this height advantage, throw the ball up a little bit, have a little jump ball against these shorter Weslaco defenders.
And this time, nice rush up the middle for 5 or 6 yards by Hendrick. Axel Camarena, by the way, on the tackle, really had to drag Delgado out of bounds in the last play before that. All right, so we are going to have 2nd down, gain of about 4. So we'll call it 2nd down and 6.
Nice tackle that time by Jathan Gonzalez.
And this time, going to be another running play. Only picks up about 2 or 3. Again, Hendrick tries to go over the right side, nothing doing.
Guess who? And the first 2 guesses don't count.
Yeah.
It's Marco Noriega.
Yeah, Noriega.
The guy is everywhere.
And of course, Roy Trevino out this week.
Yeah.
So again, Noriega having to step it up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. And again, looking to the sideline for the play is the quarterback Torres.
Torres looks at the defense, wants to see what's happening when he lines up. Then when he sees the way the defense is lined up, he looks over to his offensive coaches and asks if they want to change the call. This time they did.
Over to the left side, and he is going to overthrow his receiver, not even close to Delgado.
It's odd. It almost looked like he was throwing it away, but he wasn't under any pressure at the time. That brings up a big 4th down for, I would imagine they would go for it.
I see no doubt. There's the Panthers cheerleader. Parents' night, so a lot of the parents of the cheerleaders as well as the players out with their sons or daughters. That was really fun to watch before the game.
All the seniors were out. That was good for them to get out there with their parents. Senior football players and senior cheerleaders get to bring their parents on the field before tonight's game.
So Torres, motion. He's going to keep the ball. Now passes it off. And it's fumbled.
That's picked up. That's a live ball.
That's a live ball. It's fumbled after the reception, and it's brought back to midfield.
Fantastic play right there by Marco Noriega.
Yeah.
The pitch was awry. Watch here. Pitch trying to go out, but he's unable to corral it. Noriega realizes that it's a live ball, catches it, gets it, picks it up right over there by the, and somehow stays in bounds to get it.
Ball pitched to Quiros. So now,
it's odd. Why are they putting the ball back that far?
Yeah, it's back at the 38-yard line.
Looked to me like Noriega took it in front, took it all the way down to the 50-yard line, if not past it.
Priscilla Canales, Dr. Canales, just on the screen. I want to thank her for making this all possible for us. This is the WISD superintendent. Enjoying the game tonight.
Without her, no K-West.
Yep, that's right.
Without K-West, what would we be doing tonight, Scott?
I don't know. And again, after that last play, ball up to the 43-yard line.
I'm still interested why it was started back at the 38-yard line.
So this time, Cavazos has it. Jacob over the right side. There's going to be a penalty. He'll be out at the 49-yard line, but a flag on the play.
That's kind of where we see them call holding. Oh, Coach Michael Salinas not happy with the call, whatever it is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Demonstrative.
Well, we enjoy everybody watching this K-West presentation tonight. Another beautiful evening for football.
Holding on the offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
All right.
This is going to be a war of attrition, looks like to me, Scott. Both of these teams are pretty even. The only difference is Jacob Cavazos making those big plays on that last 96-yard drive, and Harlingen South unable to convert on 4th and 1 from the 4.
So ball is back to the 32-yard line. And again, it's going to be a pass, this time to Jaden Cavazos, and he's going to get to the 40. He picks up about 8, and so it's going to be about 8 yards remaining for the first down.
And don't be surprised if it's another pass here.
All right. Here's the pass.
These short passes, you see, they put the receivers out there to help block on these short passes in the flats. That's what it was able to break Jaden Cavazos loose there.
Isaac Moreno on the tackle. We'll talk about him in a moment. Right now, here is Jacob Cavazos, and he's under pressure, and he is going to be tackled, and he loses the ball. It's picked up, and it is going to be taken all the way for the score, and that happens to be Jose Holloman. Let's see if it holds up.
Looks to me like it's a touchdown for Jose Holloman there. Cavazos was running, trying to get out of the pocket. He was blindsided, did not see the Harlingen South defender come from behind. Watch right here. You'll see him. He's taking it, and it's a perfect strip right there. Looks like it was Julian Serna on the strip right there. And Jose Holloman, the Johnny on the spot, right place, right time. That's a huge defensive strip sack and fumble recovery for 6 points for Harlingen South.
And Lerma coming in. Jose Lerma, he is 11 of 11 on extra points.
Yeah, but we're down to 4 seconds. 3, 2. Will they get it off in time? 1. They do not.
Wow.
Timeout.
Timeout. You had to figure they're going to do that.
Yeah.
So
it's a big extra point.
No, definitely.
Looks like points might be tough to come by tonight. You want to get every single one of them you can.
And, you know, big plays on defense are something that the Hawks can do. We were talking about Moreno. We were about to talk about him. And he had a turnover that was turned into a score last week. He returned an interception for a touchdown in the McAllen game, 68 yards. So some good defenders that know how to convert turnovers for scores for the Hawks.
This Harlingen South defense is very impressive. I'm quite impressed. It makes me wonder, you know, how much better have they gotten since the first game? If they were to play Edinburgh again, would Edinburgh be able to score 34 points on them now? I'm not sure that they would. And you know, that loss that Harlingen South to the win over PSJ North, that was a very close game. So Harlingen South learned something there. Weslaco hasn't had many close games.
No.
This is definitely the closest one that we've had at this point in time.
20-yard extra point. It is up, and it is good. And I believe their kicker, he's had a 27-yard field goal this year, so that was within his range. And it's all of a sudden a 7-all game late here in the first half.
Yeah, Jose Lerma perfect this year, 12 for 12 for PATs. That just increases it. But now we've got a whole new game. 2:13 left in the first half, and we're all tied up at 7.
Are you surprised the defense has been key to this game? Obviously, the turnover on downs and then the 96-yard drive led to the score for Weslaco. And then right now, the fumble return led to the points for the Hawks. Does any of this surprise you?
Not really, because defense is what has really led Weslaco to these last 3 wins, has kept them perfect so far in this season at 3-0. What we haven't seen is Weslaco go up against a defense as good as this Harlingen South defense before. So Coach Michael Salinas and company going to have to they're going to have to hit the old whiteboard in the halftime locker room. They're going to have to come up with some adjustments if they want to open things up a little more. This just might be one of those grinded out games that ends up being 14-7, and whoever ends up with that last touchdown is the winner.
Well, could this be one of these good character games to have right before you go into district?
It's a perfect game to have right before district. The only thing you wish is that your bye week was next week, because this is going to be a tough knockdown, drag-out game. All the teams up in District 36A up in the Upper Valley, all of them are off this week before they start district next week. Unfortunately, 31 and 32 with realignment, they didn't get that quite. They didn't get that schedule.
You're not a huge fan of realignment.
No.
We've talked about that in other broadcasts. Well, Lerma's going to hit that one out of bounds, and so Weslaco will bring it up and start first down and 10. And a few games yesterday. Surprises on yesterday's games, or what about what you expected yesterday?
Well, I'm still shocked by Edinburgh Economides, who is Weslaco's next opponent. They've having 3 shutouts early on in this season it's impressive. No matter what kind of team you think they're playing against, whether Roma or whoever else, or Laredo LBJ, any of these teams that they're playing, just to throw 3 shutouts and to only allow 7 points in the entire season is highly impressive.
Cavazos to Cavazos, Jacob to Jaden on a first down play. So trying to get things going. 2:08 remaining here in the first half, but that time a pickup of only a couple.
Yeah, you're going to have to grind it out against this Harlingen South team. I don't know if they're going to
You think they're going to be careful? Don't want to do something stupid and get behind?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cavazos going to pass it again, and this time the pass is going to, good second effort, and it's going to go down to about the 44-yard line. And on that play, a pickup of about 19 yards.
Diego Martinez getting the tough yards. It's the first time we've seen him on offense in this game, and he's coming up lame. He's going to have to come off.
Oh, yeah. He's hurting.
Yeah, he's definitely hurting.
And, of course, remember he had a touchdown last week. And on the season, 5 catches for 75 yards and that 1 touchdown. So he definitely can help out on the offense. And
yeah, this is tough because they've been using him on defense this entire game. It's obvious they felt like they needed him.
Right.
And now for him to go out on his first play on offense, that leaves your defense a little short as well.
And again, Trevino injured last week. So let's hope this is nothing too serious. And it looks like he's walking off under his own power.
Yeah, still a little gimpy.
Yeah. So we wish him the best. Maybe a little time in the locker room at halftime is just what the doctor ordered. We'll have to wait and see if he's back for the second half. Maybe he'll be back for the next play. Remember, he got knocked out in an earlier game. And he had his ankle wrapped up, and he was back soon. So this kid is tough, no doubt. First down and 10, though, right now. Ball at the 43-yard line. Jacob Cavazos has it, and he's down to about the 43-yard line of the visitors, so pick up of about 14 yards on that rush around the right side.
Go back to what works. If they're defending your little West Coast offense passes, well, then set up the run again. Everybody knows Jacob Cavazos can run. They haven't been running him much in the second quarter. That's the biggest one so far. That was a big one.
Yep, clock running 1:43, now down to 1:35. Do you think they get it off a little faster than this, maybe?
I think they just want to make sure Harlingen South doesn't get the ball back.
All right, Cavazos down the field, and the reception is good down to about the 22-yard line. Gain of 20 on that play to Jaden Cavazo.
Perfect pitch and catch. That's the way that your receiver and your quarterback are supposed to communicate. Cavazos didn't even look up until he was at the spot where he was supposed to catch it, and the ball was exactly where it needed to be. That's what the chemistry between a quarterback and receiver gets you.
And there goes Jacob back again, and he's going to dump it off on the right side. Little safety valve pass to Peyton Knob, and he's going to be out. We'll have to see, maybe around the 15-yard line.
No, unfortunately, it's all the way back at the 22.
Oh, the 20, okay.
There'll be no gain on that play, it doesn't look like.
All right.
But it looks like a injury timeout for Aaron Vinson from Harlingen South.
Well, again,
trainers will come out to look at him.
Hate to see any kind of injuries. And we also know that George Martinez, he's hit, I think, what did he hit a 40-yard field goal, if I recall, in one game here?
I think that's right.
Yeah. So he can kick the ball. We know that he has good accuracy. He's good under pressure. Only missed one extra point this year. So, you know, if nothing else, we'd like to go in the locker room with the lead, plus getting the ball to begin the second half. We're talking about Weslaco.
Yeah, we are in his range.
Yeah.
There is a small wind that would be in his face, wind coming from the south headed to the north, but it's not nearly enough to keep George Martinez from hitting a field goal if he's on target.
So 1:06 remaining. It's going to be second down and 10. And Jacob Cavazos, 3 wideouts on the right. He's going to keep it this time. He's going to get over the 20. He'll get down to about the 17, and that's going to be about all. So about a 5-yard gain on that play.
Wow, looks like maybe like 6. That was all right. Good play right there. It sent everybody out wide, hoping to open up a hole in the middle, and it did open up for a little bit until David Cortez for Harlingen South came up and got the big hit there. Cortez is a good story for Harlingen South as well. Just a sophomore, but playing outside linebacker. He's tied for the team lead for Harlingen South in tackles with 17. And he's also quite the pass defender as well, which, you know, as an outside linebacker, you have to be sometimes. He's broken up a couple of passes, 17 tackles. Cortez, only a sophomore. He's going to be doing things for Harlingen South for quite a long time.
And from my angle, it's hard to see on the scoreboard how many timeouts remain. Can you see, Clay?
Yeah, it looks like 1 apiece.
Okay.
1 timeout apiece for each team. 56 seconds left. Coach Salinas going to draw something up here.
Second down. Looks like about 4 yards to go. Ball down near the 15-yard line. And again, motion. Pass will go over to the left side and couldn't quite get it to the receiver. It was Jaden Cavazos, but the pass was low.
Yeah, a little too low. Brings up 4th and 5, 52 seconds left. This is more time than Weslaco wanted Harlingen South to have at the end of this half. But I think you have to go for the field goal here.
Yeah, I think you want that momentum going into the half.
I really think you do.
Because what happens if you turn it over to them and they move down to field goal range? I mean, that, you know, that would be my
about
opinion.
a 35-yard field goal, but they're not going to do it. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
All right. And here it is. Fake jet sweep to Jaden Cavazos. Jacob Cavazos keeps it, and he's going to get down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 9. First down, Panthers.
Made that last move that got him the extra yardage and got him down to the first down marker and passed it. Nice little stutter step there at the end. Jacob Cavazos running has done most of the damage on this series for Weslaco.
First and goal to go at the 9. Jacob Cavazos has it, looks down the right side. Pass is good to Jaden Cavazos just for a couple, but it goes out of bounds. Important thing, it stops the clock, saves the timeout.
Absolutely, with 30 seconds left. This is more of what Coach Salinas wanted. Get it down deep, make sure there's no time left on the clock, and score whichever way you can.
Well, that's why Coach Salinas makes the big bucks.
That's right.
I would have gone for the field goal, but he knew something we didn't. Right?
Yeah, well, to tell the truth, he knew that Jacob Cavazos is a playmaker.
Yeah.
If he hadn't made that last stutter step, we'd be looking at Harlingen South with the game with the ball right now.
All right. So again, second and goal to go. Ball at the 7-yard line. 30 seconds remaining. And there is going to be a whistle before the play goes off. And Coach Salinas doesn't look happy.
No, he didn't want to call that timeout. I'm not sure why he felt he had to.
Something in the formation?
Yeah, might have been.
Well, you know what? You can't take them to the locker room, and you don't want to mess up. And, you know, no matter what you think of your team, no matter what kind of confidence, they're still young men.
Yep.
And they're still learning. So
absolutely.
You don't want them to do something stupid.
Right. So that's the final timeout for Weslaco. Harlingen South still with 1.
Fans of all ages here. Looks like the youngest Panthers fan still awake. The offense is keeping them awake.
That's right.
Or keeping her awake, I believe. It's a her. So it's fun to see families out here. That's one thing about high school football. It's still affordable for the whole family. And people come out and enjoy it.
And the traditions are there. You've got people whose grandkids are coming out and people whose grandparents brought them to these games.
Right.
So you've got generations upon generations of Weslaco fans who are out here right now.
Coach Williams, what do you do now?
right now you've got 30 seconds. I'd throw a couple of short passes. Looks like they've got trips left here. Make that 4.
All right. Man in motion, and that looks like where he wants to throw the pass, and he's scrambling away. He's got pressure. He throws it out, away, gone. No way did he want that intercepted. He just threw that away.
And that's the right play to make. It seemed like he hesitated. He wanted to hit Peyton Kanab, who had gone out left and had 3 blockers out there, but hesitated for some reason, didn't like what he saw, so turned around and was immediately chased. But hey, only 7 seconds went off the clock there. That's not bad. But it is 3rd down, so you're going to have to start thinking about, if you can't make it into the end zone, at least making it to that 1st down marker.
3rd and goal to go.
Oh, that's right, 3rd and goal. I'm not sure why I thought 3rd and 7. Yeah, there we go, inside the 10.
All right. Cavazos back to pass now, puts it under his wing. Now will try to pass again and gets it a touchdown. It is a touchdown to KJ Jones. KJ Jones' 2nd touchdown of the year. Remember, he had the one on special teams.
That's right. Came in on the fumble recovery off of the punt. Scored a couple of weeks ago, last home game. Scored in this home game. I think KJ likes Bobby Lackey Stadium. His 2 touchdowns have both come here. You saw there the hesitation from Jacob Cavazos as he waited for KJ to get open. He only had eyes for KJ. KJ was covered at first. KJ made an extra move. That's when Cavazos released the ball. And George Martinez just released the extra point. And Weslaco is going to go into the halftime locker room with a 14-7 lead, pending the last 16 seconds of this second quarter.
A 7-yard touchdown pass. That is the 11th touchdown pass of the year for Cavazos, his first to Jones. So that's good. And Jones may become, well, let me say this real quick. Jones may become very important, especially if Diego Martinez can't come back in the second half.
Absolutely, absolutely will. And on special teams as well as on the offense. But, I mean, folks, if you're looking for, something to look forward to when it comes to District 31 6A play that begins next week, it's that Jacob Cavazos is far and away the most efficient and the highest rated quarterback in this 17 district. No one, I think you could add all the touchdowns up that all the other quarterbacks in this district have thrown, and you would not get to the 11 that Jacob Cavazos has thrown. It's obvious that he is the best quarterback coming into this district that begins next week.
Just amazing what he's done. And I believe he's also rushed for 3 touchdowns, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that was the thing. It was the pass from Cavazos to KJ Jones that ended up giving Weslaco the lead there, but it was Jacob Cavazos' feet that gave Weslaco all that drive all the way down inside the red zone.
And you realize that last year, Weslaco was 3-6, so they've already won as many games as they did last year. Should they win tonight, they'll surpass last year's total in victories.
And hey, that's par for the course for Michael Salinas. His Vela team in their first year as a varsity squad went 0-10. The next year, he won 3 games. The next year after that, he won 5. After that, he was a 10-0 team. His teams always get better the longer he's with them.
All right, kickoff coming. Martinez
puts it down
it's
low.
Going to be a short kick. It's picked up, and it's going to be not much. Ball goes to about the 27-yard line after it's picked up by Caleb Solis. Very good defender, by the way, for them. Had a good game last week against McAllen. So 1st and 10 for the Hawks. 9 seconds remain. You got to think they're going to be conservative, or do they just try to air it out, let everyone go run down the field?
Well, you certainly don't want to do anything where Weslaco could return a touchdown, and all of a sudden, instead of being down 7, you're down 14.
But, when you got those 2 big receivers like you talked about, Bennett and Delgado, maybe it's something you try.
There's something to be said for a jump ball. If you guys have the height and your quarterback can put it on line, then, they can, even if they can't make the catch, the taller receivers should be able to knock it down.
Yeah.
You could go for it.
I might try something, again. But I don't think it will. No,
doesn't look like it.
Yeah. And again, we're talking about high schoolers, too. So
exactly.
It's a little different situation.
That'll do it.
All right. So that is it. Going into the locker room, we see right now it is a 14-7 lead. Weslaco leading Harlingen South. And again, we saw Peyton Kanab with a 2-yard run early. And then, of course, Holloman picked up the fumble. Jose Holloman returned it for a touchdown. And then KJ Jones had the 7-yard reception just a few seconds ago, literally. So, Clay, before we go to halftime and enjoy the great bands, any final comments?
Well, this is going to be a knockdown dragout. This is not going to get any easier for either one of these teams. This looks like the kind of game that could go down to the wire. Both of these squads have come out and shown us a lot in this first half. A lot on offense, even more maybe on defense. So expect more fireworks in the second half. Maybe not a whole lot more scoring, but you might see it go down to the wire.
All right, we'll be back with second half action in just a bit in this non-district game. Once again, it is Weslaco, the home team here at Bobby Lackey Stadium, leading Harlingen South 14-7. For Clay Williams, I'm Scott Harrison. Enjoy halftime. We'll be back with second half action. This is a K-West production.
Weslaco ISD graduates receive more than $4 million in college scholarships, including dozens who will play college sports. More than 900 received a certification and are ready for the workforce or continuing their education. Over 400 honor graduates will have opportunities to study at top-tier universities. And we are proud of our scholars graduating from medical school, law school, business school, and Ivy League universities. Weslaco ISD, the right choice for high school and beyond.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming your award-winning Dreamettes. The Dreamettes are in their fourth year as a team and have received numerous awards. This past year, the Dreamettes were awarded with Best in Prop, and receiving the Supreme Award during the summer. Our officers are once again 5-star officer line and team most admired and the staff award. The Dreamettes were also invited to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, where 17 members will be representing the Dreamettes, Weslaco High School and Weslaco ISD. Introducing your 2018 Dreamette officers. Lieutenant Kiana Reyes. Lieutenant Kaylee Martinez. Lieutenant Ana Mancias. Lieutenant Veronica Rangel. First Lieutenant Cyan de la Garza. And your 2018 Major Calista Robledo, who was named Miss Showtime for the last 3 years. Also joining our 5-star officers is our mascot, 5th grader Savannah Rico. Tonight also performing are Junior Dreamettes, which attended our 2018 mini dance camp. Sit back and enjoy as your Dreamettes and Junior Dreamettes perform a jazz routine to Love on Me.
Girl, put some love on me, 'cause I won't let you down. I won't let you down. I will be singing. Girl, put some love on me. I feel it all around. I feel it all around. I will be singing. I feel it all around. I feel it all around. I will be singing.
Lining up for your halftime entertainment is the award-winning Weslaco High School Panther Corps. The Corps is under the field direction of head drum major Gabriela Saenz, assistant drum majors Jarrett Garcia and Mari Cruz Perez. Color guard officers are Captain Analisa Morales, co-captain Cheyenne Perryman, First Lieutenant Irene Banda, and Second Lieutenant Samantha Ramirez. Tonight, the Corps will be performing their 2018 UIL Pigskin Marching Show entitled Out of the Shadows, featuring the music of Gustav Mahler, including Symphony No. 2, The Resurrection, Adagietto from Symphony No. 5, and Symphony No. 3 and 7. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Panther Corps proudly presents Out of the Shadows.
The Panther Corps is under the direction of Rodrigo Leal. Assistant directors are Clarissa Salinas, Fabian Trevino, Ernesto Ortiz, Moises Garza, Cecilia Perez, Michael Perez, Tom Sturziker, color guard sponsor Eran Leal, and student teacher Jason Rodriguez. The Panther Corps would like to thank the Weslaco ISD Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Priscilla Canales, Weslaco ISD School Board, Weslaco High School Principal Yvette Morales, Weslaco High School Band Boosters, and the City of Weslaco for supporting the fine arts. Thank you, and go Panthers!
First off, I want to say thank God. Obviously, thank my father who's always been with me. I just want to invite everyone, to watch me live on FS1 on Ontario, California, September 30th. I will be fighting for a WA Intercontinental belt, and I will bring back the belt and the City of Champions. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the champ. Good luck, Brendan.
All right, here we are getting ready for second half action, and we are here in Bobby Lackey Stadium, Weslaco, Texas. It is a non-district game. Weslaco 31-6A taking on in 32-6A the Hawks. And again, an exciting game. These two teams used to be in district together. Last year, Weslaco defeated the Hawks. Close one, 28-25. It's close again tonight. And it's Weslaco leading Harlingen South at halftime, 14-7. Along with Clay Williams, I'm Scott Harrison. Clay, do we expect an exciting second half?
Well, I think you have to, Scott. This is obviously the best matchup that Weslaco has seen yet this year, and it's the first time they're not leading by more than 2 touchdowns at halftime all year. Harlingen South has proven that they can move the ball when they need to. If it weren't for a 4th and 1 on the 4, they might have a tie game. But then again, if Weslaco hadn't had a strip sack that was returned by Jose Holloman, then it could be a 14-0 lead here.
And Jaden Cavasso gets the kick from Jose Lerma and puts down a knee, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Weslaco. They're going to be moving from our left to right toward the south end zone, toward the scoreboard end zone to begin the second half. And again, some big defensive plays in the first half. Jose Holloman picks up a fumble and returns it from Weslaco East, for Harlingen South. And earlier in the game, Peyton Kanab, he scores the first touchdown of the game, 2 yards for Weslaco. And then KJ Jones, late in the first half, catches a touchdown pass from Jacob Cavazos, and that is the scoring summary. And we start off with a short run to begin the second half.
Yeah, it looks like Peyton Kanab just got back to the line of scrimmage. He got hit behind the line, but they're going to call it 2nd and 10 here.
All right. So far, we have not seen a running back we thought we'd see tonight, did we?
Yeah. Jeremy Coronado is he's available. He's got his helmet off right now, but he's on the sidelines. He's dressed out for the first time this year, but has not gone in the game yet.
And Cavazos throws a pass, and it's off the mark, intended for Jay Granados. Now, I got to ask you, is Diego Martinez out there? Have you seen him? He was injured in the first half.
I have not seen Diego Martinez as of yet. Still looking for him on the sidelines. Don't see anybody on the trainer's table. Don't see anybody with a number 5 in street clothes. So not sure yet.
All right.
Hopefully he's okay and back out there.
Going to be 3rd down and 10. The ball at the 25-yard line, and it's going to be a little screen pass. And Peyton Kanab, he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, absolutely no gain on any of those first 3 plays for Weslaco. And now they're facing a 4th down back on their own 26-yard line. Harlingen South's going to get the ball with pretty good field position, you would expect.
Kind of an ominous start to the second half.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see if you're Coach Michael Salinas and Weslaco.
Jacob Cavazos is the punter, and he is going to get the ball back at about his own 14-yard line. Getting ready to punt it back. One back at about his own 35-yard line for Harlingen South. And the rugby-style kick is off, and it's going to bounce. And it will be down about the 41-yard line in the territory of Harlingen South. Not bad field position for the visitors to begin the second half.
No, this is exactly the way Harlingen South wanted to start this second half. Of course, Weslaco won the coin toss, decided to defer to the second half, and having done that, they received the ball to begin the second half, but don't take advantage of it. 3 and out for Weslaco, and now Harlingen South coming on with some pretty good field position, and they've proven they can move the ball against this Weslaco defense.
Clay, have we seen Weslaco go 3 and out very often this year?
No, very, very seldom have we seen them go 3 and out.
I can hardly remember it.
Yeah, I know. Maybe
sure
once or twice.
Yeah, I know they have, but I hardly can remember it. All right, first run, it's going to be Corbin Hendrick, and he is going to get not much.
Not much at all. Taken down that time by Jacob Bailly, the senior linebacker for Weslaco.
You can see him running the ball. And he's had a run of over 60 yards for a touchdown this season. I believe 67 yards against McAllen. But that's short. Going to be a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. This time, Quarterback tries to scramble to his right, and he's going to be thrown for a big loss of at least 8 yards.
Huge loss that time, and a great play by Seth Sanchez, the big defensive tackle. Watch there as he just uses the swim move to get past the potential blocker, gets past a second blocker, and down goes Torres. Down goes Torres.
David Torres, and a big sack.
That's
Sanchez, we call his
huge
name a
for
lot.
that.
Even if
Yeah.
he's not getting the tackle, he disrupts a lot of plays.
Yeah. We say down goes Torres. It's a little boxing reference. We just heard from Brandon Figueroa, the heartbreaker. He's got a big fight coming up September 30th in Ontario, California. It's going to be on FS1. He's taking on Oscar Escandon.
All right, pass is incomplete from Torres to Hendrick. So that's going to bring up that is 4th down and 17.
Yeah, Figueroa's gym just down the street here from Bobby Lackey Stadium. He's still 16-0, has yet to lose in his professional career. 11 knockouts.
A lot of good boxers come from the Rio Grande Valley, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and 2 of the best coming from right here in Weslaco. Actually, 3 of the best. Both Figueroa brothers, Omar Figueroa Jr., Brandon Figueroa, his brother, and of course, the great La Manaza, Roberto Garcia, as well, who has won a couple of different championships in his career.
So you are a fan of the Sweet Science.
I definitely am.
That's an old boxing name.
They do it great here in the Rio Grande Valley. And like I said, 3 of the best to ever come from the Rio Grande Valley have come from this very city, Weslaco, America.
And are they developing a lot of fighters in the UFC and MMA down here too?
Absolutely they are. And there have been a couple from Weslaco who have gone on to do some great things in UFC already, as a matter of fact, and in other MMA organizations besides UFC as well.
All right, so again, a lot of great people from the Weslaco area. And Michael Cole, who does the announcing for the WWE, I understand. I'm not sure he still lives here or not, but he had, at least for a time, lived in Weslaco.
Yeah, absolutely did. He would commute out of here every time he had to go to SmackDown or Raw. He would head over to McAllen, take a flight out of McAllen Miller, and head to wherever the WWE was going to be next.
All right, Lerma getting ready to punt the ball. So both teams 3 and out to begin the second half. And barely gets that punt off, but does. Good pressure. And it's going to be taken around the 25-yard line. About a 10-yard return before the back is taken down, and that happens to be Jay Granados.
Yeah, that's 22-on-22 crime there. Double deuce. Enrique Alvarado with a big hit on Jay Granados. But Granados dealt as well as he dished there and made an extra 2 yards after the tackle.
And Granados had a touchdown last week, 2 catches for 10 yards. Those were his first catches of the season.
Decent field position to start here, 36-yard line.
All right, so second possession.
See if Weslaco can do anything. They weren't able to do anything in that last series. They went 3 and out without gaining a yard.
Will the second time be a charm as far as possessing the football? And that time it's Jacob Granados keeping it, or Cavazos, I should say. Jacob Cavazos keeping it, and he falls ahead for about 4.
Yeah, of course, at the end of the second quarter, that big drive that led to the first touchdown for Weslaco was all Jacob Cavazos running the ball, and he starts running the ball here to get the first couple of yards of the second half for Weslaco's offense.
Team's leading rusher.
Absolutely is. Leading rusher, leading passer, captain on the team.
And here comes a good run and good second effort by Peyton Knob. And he's going to be knocked down short of the first down, but he picks up about 4 or 5.
Yeah, excellent running there. Harlingen South swarming to the ball, but not until after. Big hole here made by the Weslaco line. Take a look, Peyton Knob, nice vision. Waits for his block, sees where he's going to go, heads right up, keeps both hands on the ball.
And number 63 did a good job over there, didn't he, on the offensive line?
Absolutely did. Francisco Alarcon. Of course, Weslaco missing one of their offensive linemen this game.
Knob, by the way, gets about 3 or 4 yards for the first down. Go ahead.
Alfredo Moreno is on the sidelines in dress clothes, so he's not out there, and he's usually a starter on this offensive line. But Weslaco's still looking pretty good.
1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Another running play, and this time it's going to go near midfield. Pickup of about 3 on the play, not much that time rushing.
Yeah, Jaden Cavazos made a nice spin move right back at the line of scrimmage, was able to keep
jet sweep.
Was able to keep from being tackled. You see it right here. Cuts back and then whoop, a little spin, gets out of the grasp of the tackler. Extra 3 yards.
2nd down and 7, and Jacob Cavazos will keep the ball, and he's going to be near a 1st down. He picks up about 6 yards on the rush, straight ahead.
That was obviously a designed quarterback draw. Just a quick shoulder fake from Cavazos and then heads straight up the middle. Leaves it about 3rd and 2.
All right, inside the territory of Harlingen South, and this time the ball goes ahead. Actually, it's Cavazos, I believe, that keeps it. And he is going to get the 1st down.
Now the keeper, number 7.
So nice quarterback keeper.
Yeah,
a little misdirection, right?
And another nice 1st down for Weslaco, you know.
Yeah, looks like he handed off to Knopf for a second. I thought he did. And that just delayed the defense from coming in just long enough to get that little hole.
Good ball fake, makes the defense bite, gives you an extra couple of yards.
All right, and this time he does hand it off, and not much for Knopf there. He's tripped up in the backfield and falls back to the line of scrimmage.
Braden Alexander coming off the defensive line, got some good penetration that time and tripped up Knopf before he could really get anything going.
So
Take a look there. You see Alexander going right past right there. Knopf has to hit the dirt.
And Alexander has caused and recovered a fumble this season for his team. So a good defender. Fast 3rd quarter. We're already at the midway point. And Jacob Cavazos goes back to pass, throws it downfield. Almost intercepted that time. It was for Jaden Cavazos, but the defender was back there. He has hands on it, could not pick it in. Enrique Alvarado.
Yeah, it went through Alvarado's hands, and by the time it went through his hands, Jaden Cavazos was by that time the defender and thinking, I've got to knock this ball down. He wasn't thinking about catching it. He was thinking about making sure that Alvarado didn't.
All right. So we have 3rd down and 10. Back goes Cavazos, tries to get it downfield to Granados, off his hands. Would have been a tough catch.
Yeah, 2 big passing plays go south for Weslaco, and now all of a sudden they're facing 4th and 10.
And again, they are in the territory of the Hawks, but looks like they may be punting. Could be a fake.
I would imagine they're going to try and punt it, and Cavazos with that rugby style, he's going to try and make a little coffin kick down there, try to pin him down inside their 10-yard line.
Hit the coffin corner, right?
Exactly right.
So Cavazos back at his own 45. Oh, he is going to punt it for a moment. It looked like he was going to pass it, but it's going to bounce, like you said, inside the 10 almost. Now it takes a bounce in favor of the Hawks, so it'll be around the 15. But it was a nice punt.
Very nice punt. A little bad news for Weslaco, however, is Diego Martinez has come out and he is on crutches. So he will not be going back in this game for Weslaco. The good news is you know, they've got him taped up, they've got him in a boot. So he's able to come out in crutches, but he will not be going back in the game.
Well, he's a tough guy, like I said. We saw him go out earlier this year and get taped up. This time, obviously, a more serious injury, but let's wish him the best that he'll be back next week or very soon.
Hopefully just an ankle sprain.
And keep in mind, if he's not available for next week, there is a bye week after that. So.
Excellent. Yeah. Coach, you know, there's Coach Salinas has got to be happy with that early bye week. Coaches always like that. The only thing better than a bye week in 2 weeks would have been a bye week next week.
And David Torres hands it off, and going absolutely nowhere is Emilio Quiros, top running back. He is toppled, huh?
Yeah, Seth Sanchez again, just being a complete disruptive force on that defensive line for Weslaco, completely messing up any kind of plans that offensive line had.
Another Panther down. I believe it may be an offensive lineman. Have to wait and see. But again, don't like to see these injuries. It's a tough situation. So while we have a moment, I do want to ask you, I know you're a big Cowboys fan and we're getting ready for a game. They had a big victory and now going against, what, Seattle next?
Yeah, going up to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a team that's pretty much in disarray, really. All the great players from their defense a couple of years ago are gone, except for the ones who want to be gone, like Earl Thomas. So, you know, they haven't shown much these first couple of weeks. I think that the Cowboys have to be favored in this one.
All right, and of course the Houston Texans going against the New York Giants.
That's 2 0-2 teams that are desperately trying not to get out of their slide that they're currently in. Whoever loses that game is going to be 0-3 and in a lot of trouble.
I was listening to sports talk radio and somebody described Eli Manning as a statue. Now, again, you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but for a year I actually did the high school games, play-by-play for Newman High School in New Orleans, which is where Eli Manning, Peyton Manning went, among others. And there's a little wide receiver in New York that went there, too. What was his name again?
I'm not sure, but Marco Noriega coming off, and he's having to be helped. Can't come. The great middle linebacker for Weslaco. We saw him come off the field twice last week, but didn't look any the worse for wear to start this game. But this time, it's going to be tough to imagine that he's back on. He's in a lot of pain down there.
And he's putting no pressure.
Yeah, he can't put any pressure on his right leg, just using his left leg. We hope the best for Noriega. Definitely the heart and soul of this Weslaco defense.
Came into the game leading tackler with 14. So again, wish them all the best, all these players. They work so hard off season. All right, a pass. It goes over now on the right side, and this is going to be a first down and a lot more, about a 20-yard gain after that pass, and it was to Quiros. Quiros got it.
That's exactly what you want if you're Harlingen South. You're pinned back inside your own 20. Get a quick one out to the flats to one of your top 2 running backs.
And Quiros again, this time he'll be dropping the backfield, rushing the ball.
Yeah, lost a couple of yards on that one. Looks to me like it was Jathan Gonzalez, who's made a couple of big plays this game. We're calling his name a lot more in this game than we have at any other game of the season. So,
by the way, a couple minutes ago when we were talking about that wide receiver, also from Newman, obviously we were talking about Odell Beckham Jr.
Ah, yes.
All right. Low snap. This time Torres has it, drops back. And I think he'll just throw it away this time. Had Delgado over there, guarded by Axel, but it was not a good situation, and he did the right move, I believe, throwing it away. A good veteran move.
Yeah, he did, but the height there of Delgado, he put it where if Delgado couldn't have got it, then it was going to go out of bounds. But Delgado had a chance. If he had been a little more active over there on the sidelines, gone up for it, there was a chance he could have come down with that one.
3rd and 12. And this time, another dump pass. And it's going to be Quiros drop for a loss.
That looks like Camarena right there.
Axel Camarena. And we were just talking about him. He's had a couple interceptions this year, right?
Yeah, that's actually Raul Camarena.
Oh, Raul.
Yeah.
Okay. Raul this time.
That's the thing. You get 2 Camarenas for the price of 1 when you watch this Weslaco defense. And Raul Camarena, beautiful open field tackle.
Well, one wears 8 and one wears 9. And it's sometimes hard to tell.
Oh, yeah.
But we know they're both great players.
They are. They're both big playmakers for this Weslaco defense, and both are going to have to step it up with both Diego Martinez and Roy Trevino out.
Loss of 5.
As well as Marco Noriega now.
4th and 17. Alarma will punt the ball, and it is going to bounce. And it's going to go back to about the 8-yard line and going to be returned by Granados. And he is out at about the 18.
Good strong return there. And I hate to be the bearer of more bad injury news, but Devin Dana.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. That's what I was about to say.
He's on the sideline in crutches.
No, I was going to say that because it's been Granados, right?
Granados has been going back. Yeah. Devin Dana will not be coming back in this game either. He's standing next to Diego Martinez, and both of them have crutches.
Yeah.
So,
because I was about to ask you that, where is Dana? Because I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. So this is rough going for Weslaco. It's next man up time.
We'll have to see what kind of depth. What kind of depth?
Roy Trevino, Marco Noriega, Diego Martinez, Devin Dana, and Alfredo Moreno are all out for this Weslaco team.
All right. Motion. Ball is going to be handed off to Peyton Canab. Tries to sweep around the left side, but he is going to go nowhere as he is dropped by David Cortez.
What a great play by Cortez. They're able to fight off any kind of blocker, kept his eye on Canab, Made a beautiful tackle. Made sure there was no gain on the play. Knob goes out, tries to follow Rolando Morales, but Cortez able to make the big move to make the big play.
So 2nd down and 10. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 14-7, Weslaco leads. This time it goes out to Jaden Cavazos. He gets over the 20-yard line to about the 22, maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Scott, at this point in the game, with this many of your starters out with injury, you have to just be thinking about getting out of here with a win. And with, it's only 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter, you just want to run as much clock as you can with a 7-point lead. Just get as many first downs as you possibly can. Keep this Harlingen South offense off of the field. Get into the locker room and start putting guys in whirlpools, because that's 7 starters I just mentioned who are out for this team right now.
3rd down and 6. Dumps it off in the flat on the left side to Payne Kanab. He is dropped about 3 yards short of the first down, but there's a flag.
It's kind of in the area where you think there might be a holding. That would be a tough call at this point.
We'll wait and see what our referee says.
We're pushing the back on the offense. That penalty declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
All right, so 4th and 6.
Push in the back. I'm guessing that's, I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm guessing it's probably 5 yards and repeat down. Rather than having Weslaco be in a 3rd and 8, they'd rather have them in a 4th and 4. Kind of makes sense for Harlingen South. Jacob Cavazos will be back to punt.
Jacob. Very consistent punter, wouldn't you say?
Very consistent. Haven't seen him, and rugby is a little tougher than a lot of people think. But I've never seen him misdrop the ball. It always goes right off his foot, right where he wants to. He's never shanked a punt.
So it'll be inside the 40. Harlingen South Hawks will start it in their own territory. And again, it's been a rough night injury-wise, as Clay has said. But this is where you build character. Like you said, next man up.
Exactly.
That all the time.
And this is the time of year to do it. These games, while, you only get 10 games a year, but these are the games that don't get you into the playoffs. These are the games that get you ready for the games that get you into the playoffs. So,
well, you know what? Coach Salinas says to his team, get 1% better every day. So they're going to need all the percentage they need in the next week if they have this many injuries.
Yeah, I've got that many guys out there on crutches. That's pretty tough.
So we see David Torres at quarterback, number 8. And he will hand it off. It's going to go to his running back, one of the 2 guys that carries the load. And this time it's Corbin Hendrick. And he's going to get a very short or no gain on that one.
Looks like they're taking care of Marco Noriega's ankle down there on the training table, but it looks like maybe his right ankle. We said it was a right leg injury, but man, is he in some pain.
And Jesse Ramos, you saw in the replay, nice tackle. Nice tackle to limit the gain on that play, and actually no gain. So
they've
Ramos
taped him up, but Marco Noriega getting fitted for a set of crutches as well. They're going to run out of crutches here tonight. That's 3 guys who have gotten sets of crutches that didn't have them at the beginning of this game.
Torres looks on his right and overthrows his intended receiver, Christian Cortez. Well, we said it was going to be a hard-hitting defensive game, and that's sometimes where injuries come up, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely does. Yeah, it's not like any injuries happen because of any dirty plays. This has been a well-played game that just, injuries happen. Football is a physical sport. I'll notice that, Harlingen South's receivers have got the height advantage, but looks like they don't have the hands advantage.
All right. Torres tries to get it down to Delgado. It's out of bounds. And he's been guarded, it looks like, most of the night by Axel Camarena.
Yeah, absolutely. And Axel's done a terrific job despite giving up a good 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, watch this. There goes Torres. Lofts it down the field.
Yep, Axel right there where he needs to be.
And you see how much taller? He's like a head taller.
Yeah, exactly.
A head taller than Camarena.
And they all are, but be that as it may, it's Harlingen South's offense facing 4th and 10 from their own 39 right now.
Well, we know a lot of small defensive backs that did a good job in the NFL over the years.
Absolutely. I can think of one who tormented the Cowboys year after year, and Mr. Darrell Green.
That's right.
Played his college football right up the road in Kingsville.
Went to the Skins, right? Redskins.
Absolutely.
Hall of Famer. All right.
And deserve it.
Yeah. Granados with the ball.
Wow.
Gets down to the 32. It looked like he was going to be stopped near the 22, but he spun away from the tackler and picked up about another 10 yards on the punt return.
Coach Salinas upset. He believes Jay Granados had his face mask torn down by Enrique Alvarado. Let's take another look here and see if he's got a point. Yeah. Whoa. Was it?
Well,
It might have been his face mask, could have been his shoulder pads right on the side, but Coach Salinas and company sure believe that it was a face mask, but no face mask call, but a fantastic play by Jay Granados to come away from that.
On the video right now, we can see where Carlos Robledo over on the right side and also Mike Gonzalez are going to do the postgame show.
Postgame show. Let's hope it's a win.
Yep.
For Weslaco. Those are always the more fun post-game shows.
All right, delayed handoff, and it's going to pick up a few yards, but not a big gainer that time.
No, but a big hit that
against Kanab.
By Peyton Kanab right there to get an extra yard. You can take a look on the replay here and see that when Kanab, boom, he trucks that guy. Braden Alexander had to hit the dirt.
Pick up a 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6. And before the play gets off, down goes the hanky.
Uh-oh. Oh, it looks like it's against Harlingen South for once.
Yeah. That is what the players on the offensive line are motioning for the Panthers.
I say for once. I don't mean that there's inequality in the calls. I mean, usually those calls mean false start for Weslaco.
Yep. Well, we'll find out.
Delay a game on the defense, calling out the cadence of the offense. The 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Have we heard that penalty at all?
I have not heard.
Down.
Untimed down. I would guess it's something like unsportsmanlike conduct, but they called it delay of game.
Well, the quarter's over, so they get a free down, I guess, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
So that explains that, but not the penalty. I mean, that's an unusual
calling
penalty.
out the cadence.
Yeah. So the ball is given to Kanab, and
I think he got the first down.
Yeah,
well, it's going to be close. I think they marked him over the first.
I would say it's a first, but we'll find out.
I'll go with you on that one, Scott.
Yeah, we'll go in a minute. And no score. It was a scoreless quarter, 14-7. The key is now, win one for the guys that are down. Is that what you maybe tell Coach? You say we got a lot of guys out now with injuries, and let's see the character. Let's see you win one for our injured guys.
Man, if Weslaco comes away with a win here, this is the character builder of the utmost, because now coming off the field with a limp, it's Peyton Kanab.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see Coronado.
We might, but losing Kanab as well. He was able to come off under his own power, but definitely coming off with a limp.
And remember, he went out. This is the 4th game. He went out, I think, in the 3rd game last year for the rest of the year because of an injury. So
yeah, this doesn't look anything that serious, but maybe just an ankle sprain. But still, any injury is bad now. Now, Weslaco coming out of the south, heading towards the north as we have entered the 4th quarter.
All right, it'll be 1st down and 10, the ball at the 42-yard line. So Kanab did get enough for the 1st down at the end of the 3rd quarter.
But is not in there now. This will probably be one of the Jessies in at running back.
Yeah.
But it's Cavazos with
Cavazos keeps it and gets about 6 or 7.
Yep.
And remember, they have a couple Jessies, Jesse Perez and Jesse Hernandez. And Hernandez, in a game earlier this year, ran 82 yards late in the game for a touchdown.
Yeah, Hernandez in the game right now, part of the Jesse Brigade that they've got backing up Peyton Kanab at running back. And of course, as we mentioned before in the broadcast, Jeremy Coronado penciled in as the #1 running back to start the year, but suffered an injury, has dressed out for his first game of this year, but has not seen any play.
He warmed up, but it's not played. All right, 2nd down and 5, pass ahead, and it's broken up. It was intended for Cavazos, but on that play, it is broken up by Isaac Marino, who we said had an interception last week, returned for a touchdown against McAllen.
Yeah, it's a perfectly placed pass by Jacob Cavazos because it's going to be really tough for anybody to get to it except for his receiver. Well-placed ball, but Cavazos unable to come up with the pass from Cavazos.
So it's going to be 3rd and 5. Ball still in Weslaco territory, about their 47-yard line. Motion. And here is Cavazos, and he is going to get a good block, and he is going to be short of the 1st down, but gets to about the 50-yard line. On that particular play, we do want to compliment a block by Jesse Hernandez, who prevented a possible loss on that play. but it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, great block there. But
see that? See the block?
Yeah, here is some. That was a fantastic block. Some good news here at special teams comes on. Looks like it's going to be punt time for Weslaco. That's bad news. 4th and 2 at the 50. But the good news is coming in on the punt team, Peyton Knob.
Okay.
Back in the game.
Yeah, that's good. So just maybe beat up a little bit there.
Yeah.
It's been a long game.
Yeah.
Tough game.
And a very tough game.
Yeah. Punt will be coming off at about the 40-yard line. Cavasso gets it off.
Beautiful punt.
It's going to bounce.
Great punt.
Yeah, this is going to be inside the 5 when it's down.
Oh, it's going to be inside the 1.
Yeah, inside the 1. Woo! Wow. And then it's finally down over there by KJ Jones.
Unbelievable
There's
punt.
KJ. He scored on a touchdown pass earlier in the game. 7-yarder. Now does a great thing on special teams.
Excellent
Remember,
job.
talk about what he did.
With a
Talk what he did.
beautiful
Yeah,
punt.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just talk about Jones, what he did on special teams earlier.
Oh,
this year.
yeah, the last home game that Weslaco had here against Ed Couch-Elsa on a punt that was muffed. KJ was right on top of it and was able to fall on it in the end zone for a special teams touchdown. So those are his 2 touchdowns of the year, both coming here at Bobby Lackey Stadium. I would say KJ likes the home cooking.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Of course, when you talk about food, mouth comes up, right?
There you go.
And all right, so it's going to be 1st down inside the 1. Halfway in the end zone is the quarterback. He's going to hand it off, and there's going to be a little gain that time by Quiros. Gets about 4 to the 5, so some breathing room right now for the offense.
Yeah, which is exactly what Harlingen South needed. Needed a little breathing room, and this.
See the play, good blocking by the offensive line. Got to give him credit. Got a little bit of a hole, but of course coming up very quickly to stop things. Give credit on the defense that time, and the stop to, was it Jacob Bali?
Yeah, Jacob Bali with a big stop right there. This defense has been decimated. They need to come up big here.
All right, 2nd down and 6, and this time it's going to go to Quiros again, but he gets only a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
Excellent play that time. Looked like it was Adrian Fuentes, the big defensive tackle, just a junior, coming up and plugging that hole. Look at him go.
Bam.
Adrian Fuentes.
And
Nobody
Bali
gonna
back
get
in there
past
again,
him.
too. Bali in there,
Absolutely.
too, so some gang tackling.
Yeah, which is exactly what this Weslaco defense needs. They're missing their free safety, missing their defensive captain, their middle linebacker. Coming up big here against the Harlingen South team. Yeah, against the Harlingen South team that has proven they can move the ball.
All right, 3rd down and 5. And one thing about these running plays, it moves the clock too. Quiros again, and he is going to get a 1st down, and he is going upfield. He's at the 35-40. He's going to be caught from behind at midfield, but on that particular play, gets about 45 yards on the run.
Fantastic run. As soon as Quiros saw daylight, he broke loose. But how about Matthew Calderon coming from behind and chasing down the running back, making up about 5 yards in about 30 to get him?
It's going back, though.
Yeah, there's a penalty on the player. They're going to call holding. Maybe that's why Quiros had such a big.
On the
There it
offense,
is.
number 27. Half the distance to goal. Repeat 3rd down.
Wow, could the play of the game be a penalty?
Man, that was huge. That was big. I'm still nonplussed by Calderon, able to make up that much time on Quiros. But now we see why Quiros had such a big hole, because there was holding on the play.
All right, so half the distance to the goal, and it's going to be about 3rd and maybe 7. 3rd and 8, they'll call it. Well, we'll have to see if Quiros gets it again. He's been the workhorse. And this time it's going to be a pass. It's complete to Delgado, and he got in front of the defender, and he gets the 1st down around the 15.
Delgado ran such a perfect route, maybe made the little hook as soon as he got to the sidelines, able to ditch his defender and be there for an easy catch and an easy 1st down.
So he is down at near the 14-yard line. Better part of 10 yards on that catch.
And still the clock is ticking. 8.5 left in this game.
So this time it is going to be handed off, and it goes around the left side, but not much at all on that particular play. And it's Orlando Munez. And Orlando this year, by the way, he has played in a few games. We'll try to give you his statistics in a moment.
Benito Juarez with a fantastic stop there. Also on the stop, it looks like Jathan Gonzalez. Jathan Gonzalez is coming up big here when he needs to.
That's right. Munoz, He had 2 touchdowns this year, 32 rushes for 124 yards, averaging about 4 yards a carry. So he has had some playing time. So we're going to have 2nd down and 9 after he only gains 1 on that particular play. Quarterback has it, and he is going to look downfield. On the run, he gets it, and it's going to be to Bennett, and he is down at about the 29-yard line, and I believe that might be his first reception of the night.
It might be his first reception of the night. Once again, Harlingen South using these big receivers to their advantage. It just depends on how accurate Torres is. When he's accurate, these guys have their good hands going.
Gain about 13, 14 yards.
Quiros again.
Quiros this time gets an opening. Not going to get 45 yards, but gets about 7 or 8. And on that particular play, a tackle is made. And it's number 11, I believe.
Adam Echeverria with the tackle, but he's the free safety. You don't want your free safety making a ton of tackles on running plays.
All right.
Oh.
And again, it's going to be a run by Emilio, and he is going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage, and he is thrown back on that particular play by guess who? Seth Sanchez.
Yeah, we got some extracurricular activity after the play. Got a couple of flags. We'll see who the unsportsmanlike conduct is. Coach Salinas says it's all on Harlingen South. We'll see. Jacob Bailly made I would say a shoestring catch, but I think he had a hold of Quiros' jersey and was being dragged by him for about a yard before Seth Sanchez was able to take him and push him back. It'll definitely be unsportsmanlike. We'll see who it's on.
Here it comes.
Personal foul on the defense, number 44. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Oh, Coach Salinas upset with that one and called it on Seth Sanchez. Sanchez was the only purple shirt in a sea of white, and yet he got called for it. I think they're going to say that he did not stop at the whistle. Watch right there. You see Bailly barely hold on. Keep Seth Sanchez. Whistle blows. Sanchez has still got a hold of him.
Oh, and that, wow. I'm surprised the quarterback didn't get a penalty. He grabbed his face mask of Sanchez.
Yeah.
Or Quiros, was it? That grabbed the face
I think it was Quiros, but
okay.
Yeah. That was not the right call.
Yeah.
That was not the right call. That was a bad call.
You think they
right
should have been
there.
offsetting penalties?
Well, no, I don't. I think it should have been I think Coach Salinas is right. I think the penalty should have been against Harlingen South.
Okay.
Sanchez didn't do anything besides just wrap up. Maybe he didn't let go at the whistle, but it's not like he threw him down.
So you don't think he held on for too long?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if he had thrown him down or if he had tackled him after the whistle, then maybe a penalty. But just holding on to him is not a problem.
Well, it's going to be 1st and down, 1st and 10, I should say, at the 47-yard line. And another penalty flag as it's Hendrick trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he was held on by one of the Camarenas. I believe it was Axel that time, and another flag. Things getting a little sloppy there.
Yeah, a little sloppy and a little chippy, but this one's going against Harlingen South.
All right.
It'll head back.
Yeah.
It won't erase the first down that probably the Harlingen South shouldn't have gotten, but it will send them back into their own territory.
Well, officials talking for a couple moments here, trying to clarify what the call will be. Here it comes.
We have holding on the offense, number 27. And we have dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on number 27 on the offense.
That's a couple of big calls against Christian Cortez. That's going to send Harlingen South way back.
That's like, what, 30 yards of penalty?
And now Harlingen South has to start thinking. They have to start thinking really hard. There's 6 minutes and 41 seconds left in this game. They've only got 2 timeouts remaining. They need to start getting yards. They're facing, what, a first down and 35?
First down and 35. Stranger things have happened, but not too often do you get a first down after that kind of situation. And now there's going to be, no, not timeout, but they are going to run the clock. Yeah.
Once they see how Weslaco is set up in defense, they always look over to their offensive coordinator, see if they want to change the play.
All right. Torres has it, throws it downfield, tries to get it to Delgado, but
almost intercepted right there by Axel Camarena, sorry.
Yes. Well, both the Camarenos get gold stars tonight, I would say.
I would say so. He almost came up with that one.
Well, Camarena has 2 this year, only member of the Panthers that has 2 interceptions. So 2nd down and 35. almost to the midway point of the fourth quarter. No scoring so far in the second half. Weslaco is leading Harlingen South 14-7.
This game going fast, going too fast for Harlingen South as they're down 7 points.
Ball is handed off this time to Hendrick. Hendrick gets to the 30-yard line, maybe gets a yard gain on that play. But again, the positive is, I wish I remember when this drive started, but there's got to be at least 3 or 4 minutes minimum run off this clock by the offense of Harlingen South.
Interesting calls, right, by the offense. I mean, I'm not an offensive coordinator, but on 2nd and 35, you send a play up the middle. I mean,
get just 2. 3rd and 33.
Yeah, 2 yards. 2 yards a pop is not going to get it.
And what are you taking, another 30 seconds off the clock?
Right now, they need to average 17 yards a play on their next 2 plays if they want to get a first down.
All right, we'll have to see. Happy Weslaco fans cheering on their defense. And back to pass is Torres. Torres feeling the pressure and throws it away. And I'm going to tell you what, the defense stood up on that one, and it was a nice job.
Elijah Estevanes was all over Torres. He had some pressure on him. He actually pushed him down after he let the pass go, but the referee says that, you know, he was in the action of chasing him down. Nothing extra on that one. So Estevanes gets a big hurry. Comes off the field with some nice applause there.
Yes. 4th and 33. Big penalties, and the defense makes advantage of it. Snap comes. Jose Larama gets off the ball. It's going to bounce and go down to about the 36-yard line of Weslaco. So good field position as they will try to run out as much time as they can. 5:08 running on the clock, or remaining on the clock. Would you, Clay, just do little dump-off passes and runs and just try to...
Absolutely.
Or do you still air it out a little bit to keep them honest?
No. I mean, if the defense all of a sudden, you know, comes up in the box and they've got, you know, 10 guys in the box, then yeah, you can take that. But most likely, it's going to be just grinded out football from here on out.
All right.
Short dump passes, you know, get out there, get it moving. Get it working. Peyton Kanab back on there as the running back with Jacob Cavazos as quarterback.
Flex cam out there for the fans, and right now we need the offense of Weslaco to flex their muscles.
Yeah, that offensive line has got to get some holes. They've got to come up big here.
All right, running play. Jacob Cavazos keeps it, and he is going to get about 8 yards. That is perfect. Runs the clock and makes it 2nd and 3rd down very manageable to try to get a first down.
Once again, evidence about why Jacob Cavazos is one of the best quarterbacks in the Valley.
Watch this.
So smart. Look at this, because right here he could look outside, but he knows he wants to stay in the middle of the field. He doesn't want to go anywhere near the out-of-bounds markers. So he cuts it back upfield, sees a little hole. Could he have maybe gotten more yardage if he had gone further outside? Yeah, but there's also the chance that he could have stopped the clock, and that is not what he wants to do right now.
Peyton Kanab has it. He gets to midfield. He is going to be a couple yards short of the first down, but it is going to be 3rd down, so still another chance to get a first down, another chance to run more clock. How many timeouts, again, Clay, are left for Harlingen South?
Only 2 timeouts for Harlingen South. Weslaco still has their full complement of 3 timeouts. Not that they're thinking about taking any of them anytime soon. You're up 14-7. You'd love for that to be, you know, the final score. Maybe if Harlingen South starts taking some chances, trying to get a turnover, trying to get that win, maybe then you're able to take advantage and get a big play.
All right, ball is kept by Cavazos again. He is going to sweep around the left side, gets the first down, and more. Had to get to about the 48. He's out of bounds inside the 45.
And that time you don't mind being out of bounds because you get the first down. That means you get to keep the clock running.
Watch the replay. Watch him move his feet. He took his time. He waited to find the hole, didn't he?
Absolutely. The patience of Jacob Cavazos is one of his strongest traits. Always patient, never in a hurry, never nervous.
1st and 10 at the 44. Peyton Kanab has it, and he is going to get down to near the 40. So you want to see those runs on first down of 3 or 4. Makes the next 2 downs manageable.
Absolutely. You want to see the surge from the Weslaco offensive line. They had every single member of the Harlingen South defensive line 2 yards down from the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what you want to see if you're an offensive line coach for Weslaco.
Okay, so they're going to call it 2nd and 8. Clock approaching the 3-minute mark.
Kudos to Ray Quintanilla, the Weslaco offensive line coach, for what his kids have been doing tonight.
And this time Cavazos going to try to go around the right side, almost tackled in the backfield, but he
found
finds
a
an
spot.
opening. He's over at the 30, and he'll be knocked out at about the 23-yard line. Nice play by David Cortez, but first, a good gain on that play. We'll see where they mark it, but that looks like
Should be
about
right
a 20-yard
about the
gain.
21-yard line.
That's
That is
over 20
huge.
yards.
That is huge. Once again, Jacob Cavazos doing it with his feet, making the right moves, following his blockers, looking for the seam, the vision on this kid. Fantastic. Looks like we've got somebody down. Not sure where. Both teams are on their knees.
So
looks like we might have had a timeout call. Although Harlingen South doesn't look like they're thinking about it. Trainers out on the field, now they're coming off. Looks like somebody thought a timeout was called, but it actually wasn't.
Okay. So it's going to be 1st and 10, ball at the 21-yard line in Harlingen South territory, only 2:44 remaining.
And right now, Harlingen South has to start thinking about when do we call our final 2 timeouts.
Right,
because
jet sweep. It goes to Jaden Cavazos. He's inside the 20. He's at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 22-yard touchdown run by Jaden Cavazos on the jet sweep. What a drive. What a character-building drive. So many players out, but you move it down the field. You get the offensive surge. You get the holes open, and you get the touchdown.
Fantastic play call right there by the offensive coordinator. Unbelievable. Joe Pena, Patrick Shelby, I'm not sure who called that play. Might have been Coach Michael Salinas, but that was a winner. And the offensive line for Weslaco did a perfect job in opening it up. It's exactly what Weslaco needed, a little breathing room, George Martinez, perfect again. It's 21-7, and with only 2:34 left in this game, Weslaco has opened up a 14-point lead.
I mean, you come out there, you know, you could have been down because of all the players going out. But instead, I got to give Coach Salinas and his whole staff, I mean, not just him, but he is the leader of the staff. You know, he got his coaches to keep the players up, keep their heads held high, and that was a quality drive. That may wind up being the drive of the year.
It certainly might. You know, it would be so easy if you were a Weslaco player to look on the sidelines and see your captains like Diego Martinez or, you know, some of the guys who have been out there like, you know, all of them. Marco Noriega on the sidelines, Devin Dena on the sidelines, all of them in crutches. It would be easy to get down on yourself and think, my God, how are we going to get this done without these guys? But it didn't seem to phase this Weslaco team at all. Panthers came up, said next man up, came down against a strong, tough Harlingen South team, and got what looks to be the winning score.
And basically the Cavazos, with the help of the offensive line, big help from the offensive line, you know, they took this drive and put it on the top of their shoulders. Jacob for most of it, Jaden to close it out.
Absolutely. And you think back to the penalty that was called, the bad penalty that was called on Seth Sanchez when he got his face mask pulled down, and he was called for unsportsmanlike conduct. That was another turning point. It could have gone badly for Weslaco, but they didn't. They never let it phase them. This Weslaco team seems to be ready for anything at any time.
All right, ball is kicked off, and it is going to go into the end zone, come out of the 25, I believe. And I'll tell you, you know, you just look at this, and I mean, this team seems to have some depth on it.
Seems to, and they're going to need it because next week's game to start district is a Thursday nighter. That means one
short
less
week.
short week.
Good point.
Short week for Weslaco, having to take on an Economides team that has only let up 7 points this season. Period. Not 7 points a game, 7 points total.
And a road game.
Yeah. They've thrown 3 shutouts this year. They're going to be hosting the game at Richard R. Flores Stadium in Edinburgh. Panthers will be coming in 4-0. Economides will be in there 3-1. It'll be a great game to start 31-6A district play.
So it's going to be first down and 10 at the 25-yard line, and there's a flag before the snap even comes off. We'll have to see what this is all about.
I didn't see anybody move.
Delay of game on the offense, the 5-yard penalty, first down.
So 1st and 15. That's the direction, if you're a Weslaco fan, you want to see the Hawks be moving in. And again, they've got some big receivers out there. We'll see if there's any jump balls here or things like that before this is over. Torres has it, looks downfield, and it's broken up. And it looks like it was one of the Camarenas, Axel Camarena.
Yeah, we've got a flag on the play. Looked like the umpire at midfield saw a hold, probably on Harlingen South, is my guess, from where he threw the flag.
All right.
Oh, no, it's against Weslaco. What do you call there on the line? It's odd where he threw the flag.
Personal foul, face mask, number 94, the defense.
All right. That's not what you want.
No. 2:26 remaining. Still 2 timeouts, right, for the Hawks?
Yeah, 2 timeouts for the Hawks, 3 still for Weslaco. Has not taken a timeout and probably won't
No.
take a timeout this half.
Torres has it. He'll roll to his right, looks downfield, and misses his intended receiver that time, and he was looking for Gabriel Perez.
Yeah, the Harlingen South passing offense has just been a little off this entire game. Just not quite as much chemistry as Weslaco has in their passing game, doesn't look like. They've got big receivers, but
so
either they're not always in the right place or the quarterback thinks they're going to be somewhere else.
2nd down and 10. This time on the jet sweep. And it's going to be a run over the 40. It'll be a first down to about the 45-yard line, and it's going to be Gabriel Perez. But that keeps the clock running. So at some point, like you talked earlier, Clay, you got to decide, or got to decide when you're going to use your timeouts.
Right. If you know, Perez is he's an older guy. He's a senior. He should have known that you go out of bounds there if you can to stop the clock. Down 2 scores, every second is precious, and he could have saved about 20 seconds if he had gone out of bounds.
Ball at the 44. Another running play.
There's
going to be a penalty, yep. And it's Quiros, and he's only going to pick up yardage to about the 50, about 5 yards. But again, a penalty will stop the clock with 1:32 remaining.
Well,
illegal shift on the offense, number 11. The 5-yard penalty from this previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
Wow, so instead of 3rd and a foot, now you're looking at 3rd and 5. Weslaco defense could come up big here and end this game.
All right. You know, the defense has been good all year.
They've been fantastic.
We saw that early play that was key. And now this time the pass is incomplete.
Once again, just not that connection in the Harlingen South passing game.
Remember, what was it, like 4th and 1? They stopped them at the 4-yard line early in the game, and then it went 96 yards for the first score. And that kind of was one of the statements in the game about what kind of defense that Weslaco has if people weren't aware of it already.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at it and you say, yeah, Harlingen South has moved the ball today, but they haven't scored.
No.
The only score for the Hawks this game came from a fumble recovered for a touchdown by Jose Holloman. So while Harlingen South has been able to move the ball, they have not been able to punch it in when it matters.
Torres has it, lobs it up, and
once again, Coach Brian Ritchie's going to look at the tape on this and see exactly what's going on. Is the quarterback not getting not following the right routes? Is it the wide receivers who aren't following the right routes? Odd that they're sending the punt team on.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 1st and 10, I think.
Oh, okay.
The ball
went over on downs.
Yeah, it got turned over.
Sorry, I didn't realize. I saw one over there and didn't.
I'm a little superstitious. I didn't want to really get too enthusiastic for Weslaco until I was sure there was no penalty involved in the play.
I got you.
But folks, still 2 timeouts left. But we don't want to speak too early. But this should do it. This should do it. So now we can kind of take a breath. Take a breath.
Take a breath. Take a count.
Take a knee.
Take a knee. Absolutely.
So, and again, I just have to say, wow. I mean, who thought, there'd be all these injuries, and yet the team would just come up to another level, take it into another gear once the injuries came, and just shut down Harlingen South completely in the second half.
it's a testament to the character and everything about this team. It's
and by
really
the way,
amazing.
Speaking of character, we have a bunch of characters we work with, right?
Absolutely, we do.
And these are great characters, though. These are the people on the K-West staff that make this all possible, all right? And Mario Palacios on instant replay that is. Carlos Robledo, our director, and Michael Gonzalez, our reporter, will be joining with them soon for the postgame show. Let's not forget about Darlene Gracia, our graphics artist. Also, Joe Liel, and he is our audio technician. The man that runs the whole show upstairs here, Mike Palacios, our chief videographer. Don Ramirez, videographer. Val Zamora, videographer. Vinny Berry, videographer. Also, Armando Speronis, videographer. And back at the office, gets all our stats and all our rosters together, Mina Garcia, the K-West secretary. And now it is over. It is a win. And the final score is 21-7. Big win. 4-0 goes the Weslaco Panthers. 2-2 are the Harlingen South Hawks. And as we look at the scoring very quickly, it was
all in the first half.
Yeah, Payne Kanab, a 2-yard run. And then, except the last one.
Yeah.
And Jose Holloman, he got the only score of the night for Harlingen on defense when he returned a fumble. And then it was a pass of 7 yards to KJ Jones, right?
Yeah.
And then finally in the second half, it was the big run by Jay Cavazos, the jet sweep of 22 yards. So that summarizes the scoring. Clay, let's wrap it up. Tell us what you think.
An amazing game. What a tough test for Coach Michael Salinas' kids out here. Coming up with so many injuries, so many guys ending up on crutches in this game, so many stars of this squad coming up, seniors, leaders who were injured in this game, and yet it never fazed this Weslaco team. It was always next man up. They were always ready for whatever came their way. They stayed the course. They kept the ball. They made sure that anything that went wrong on their side was mitigated. Nothing took them out of the game, and they come up with what I'm going to call the biggest win of the year thus far. It makes them 4-0, but now it's all over. Now they're basically 0-0 as they head for district next week and a Thursday night game at an extremely tough Economides squad. Let's hope these guys are fast healers.
Michael Salinas now goes over the 500 mark as far as his record as a coach here at Weslaco. He's 7-6 in his 2 seasons. So as far as you and I, we'll be back on the road next week in Edinburgh, Economides. It'll be a Thursday night game at 7 o'clock. Clay, enjoy working with you. We'll be back next week. Again, final time for us on this broadcast, though we'll join the postgame show in just a minute with Carlos and Mike. It's 21-7, and we see that it's the Weslaco Panthers hanging in there, and they defeat Harlingen South and their Hawks. So have a great weekend from Bobby Lackey Stadium in Weslaco, Texas. We enjoyed doing this. This has been a K-West production.
Welcome to the K-West postgame show. Carlos Robledo along with Mike Gonzalez. And Coach Michael Salinas is here. A victory for the Weslaco Panthers tonight as they beat Harlingen South by a final score of 21-7. Coach, I know it wasn't an easy victory here tonight. You score a late touchdown here to put it away in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no question. We had a lot of respect for Harlingen South and the job they were going to come in and do. Our kids knew that it was going to take 4 quarters to beat this guys. They're a good ball club. Just really proud of our kids for being resilient, battling through. Our defense played a great game tonight, and offensively we took advantage of a couple drives to be able to score before halftime and then score there late to seal the victory.
Coach, last season I believe you all went 1-2 in non-district. Going into district play this year, 4-0, a much better feeling, I imagine, this time around.
Yeah, a better feeling, but unfortunately it doesn't really mean anything because everybody next week is going to be 0-0. We're done with our first season. It's behind us. We're going to learn from it. We're going to try to grow, fix what needs fixing, and we got to get ready to start district play with Economides on a short week next Thursday.
You guys were kind of riding a high there coming into this game. You know, I don't want to say blowout wins, but convincing wins against 3 pretty good football teams. This game, a little bit more challenging. And like you said, it kind of humbles you a little bit.
No question. I think the good Lord has a strange way of humbling you. I don't take anything away from our kids, anything away from our preparation. We just played a good ball club, and you can't make the mistakes that we made offensively and expect to continue to score. So hopefully we can learn from that and get better.
I know some of our players got a little banged up today. What can you tell us?
We'll evaluate it and have updates tomorrow. Right now, we got a couple guys got banged up, but we're not going to hit the panic button. We're just going to look at it, and we got to get to treatment and see who we're going to put on the field next week. But our guys know the philosophy. It's going to be next man up.
How does it feel to play on a Friday night for the first time all year?
I feel like we got school tomorrow, but we don't. So I had to remind the staff that we don't have class tomorrow. So we're going to get them in and meet and run and lift and again, get ready for econ.
Back to a Thursday night game next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go.
Thank you.
You very much.
Congratulations, Coach.
Panthers win this game by a final score once again of 21-7. Let's take a look at some of the highlights in this contest because it started off with a little bit of a pass right here where the Weslaco Panthers moving the ball down the field, and this is Jaden Cavazos with the run now as he runs with the football. It looks like maybe he got in, but no, out at the 1 yard line. No worries though because Kanab is right there. He puts it in for the score, and that made it 7-0 Weslaco Panthers. They were leading 14-7 at the half. We go all the way to the fourth quarter because there was no scoring until Jacob Cavazos with some great speed right there setting up the Weslaco Panthers. Then a little give right here to Jaden Cavazos. Finds a lane. Great blocking down the field. Cavazos goes in for the score, and that made it 21-7 Weslaco Panthers with the victory here tonight. They are now, Mike Gonzalez, 4-0 on the season. Like I said, next week is district.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Carlos. But 4-0, the Panthers got to feel really good. 4-0 for the first time since 2011. And what happened in 2011? Well, they won a district championship, went to the second round of playoffs. So this is a very good sign. We did anticipate, Carlos, when the season started, that they have a good chance to go 3-1. They have a good chance to go 4-0, and they did it. So kudos to the Weslaco Panthers and to the coaching staff.
All right, so we brought in some of these defensive guys because I know it was a battle here tonight, especially for the guys up front. And with us here, we got Cesc Sanchez, and also we got Jesse Ramos here back. I know you guys played a lot of football last year. So this year, how does it feel to be 4-0, guys?
Feels good. You know, we've been working hard all year, grinding. You know, all summer we're out here working, and it's just paying off. But we just got to keep going.
This was a pretty tough football team. They came at you, and probably your biggest challenge that you had all season long. Would you say that?
Yes, I would say that. But I mean, in practice, Coach Ramirez, the whole coaching staff, they push us every practice. 4:05, we're out of the field house, walking out. I mean, it's focusing on details.
Jesse,
paid off tonight.
Jesse, I went to high school with your father. He and I were probably one of the shorter ones in our class. But look at you. You're big and you're strong. Where the heck does that come from?
Mom's side of the family.
Honestly, I don't know where it comes from. How the frijoles, I can say.
All right, guys. So what was it like at halftime? I know you guys were only up 14-7, but it was like a real struggle because the very first 3 games of the season, you guys were convincingly beating your opponents. And this one, it was a real challenge. So what happened at halftime? What did the coach tell you guys?
You know, we knew it was going to be a tough game coming into it. They talked highly of their offensive line and stuff, but you know, the coaches, they had a plan in place, and we just followed it. They came into the locker room, they had another plan, and we just adjusted, and we went with it, and it paid off.
You guys went up against a pretty good offense. I mean, this is the team that moved the ball pretty well on you guys, and you guys still hung in there. You guys made a crucial 4th down stop early in the game, and they only scored 7 points on you. So you guys have gone up against some pretty good offenses so far in the season. But South, you know, they were moving the ball pretty well on you guys. So just how were you guys able to slow them down?
I mean, after every play, we have to look to the side and get the play and get the call and just execute it.
Trust the coaches, trust the process.
Yes.
Isn't that right? How do y'all stay grounded now? 4-0, going into district play. Like Coach said, it's a whole new season last week. None of this really matters, but it's good to be 4-0. How do you stay grounded? How do you stay level-headed, guys?
Well, right now, it's a 1-0 mentality every week. And, you know, preseason's over with, so now it's district. Now we're 0-0, and we just got to keep working. Get that district title.
You guys having some fun now?
Yes, sir.
Well, like Coach Salinas said, enjoy this for 24 hours and focus on the next game.
All right.
It got pretty physical out there, guys. What was it like to be in that kind of game? Probably for the first time this year. They got really physical, and the fans got into it from both sides.
It was great. It was fun. You know, having fun out there.
All right, we'll let you go, guys. Thank you. There's some other guys who want to get out here also as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Awesome.
Congratulations, Jesse. Have a good one.
All right, Jesse Ramos, Cesar Sanchez. Okay, we got a couple other guys from the defensive line coming out here also with us. Come on out. Benito Juarez is here. Also, number 79 with the team, Sam Pettis is here. Grab the... Sam, first of all, I want to talk to you about last week, Sam, because you caused that fumble against PSG North, right? But Jacob and Cesar Sanchez, they got all the glory, but you caused that fumble last week. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir, but I'm just glad that we got the turnover and executed the next play.
All right, talk to me a little bit about this game, guys. How does it feel going up, being very much challenged against Harlingen South? They had a good offensive line. How did it feel to battle here tonight in a tough game?
It felt good. I mean, we've been working hard the whole summer, and we can never be satisfied. We got to work harder every day, get better.
All right. Sam, what do you think, man?
They were a good offense, but my bad. They were a good team, and I'm just glad that we came out with the win.
You know what, guys? You guys showed some signs of being a very good unit, even during the scrimmages, and it's carried into the season. And now after 4 games, I mean, I know PSG North scored, 27 points on you guys, but a lot of it was on garbage time. Tonight, South scored 7, and then the first game, Rose scored 7. So you guys have been able to do it as a team and as a unit. Are you guys underrated, perhaps, you think, as a unit?
I prefer us just to just be under the radar, because it just allows us to just keep going every Friday, improving ourselves to the valley.
Well, whatever you guys are doing, it's working.
You guys, they're very businesslike. You guys are very businesslike. You guys probably take a briefcase to school every day because you guys are just so businesslike. Tell me, are you guys having fun this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Want to give you guys some props. Come out here. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there that are here watching?
Thank you guys for coming out. Let's go Panthers!
Thank you all for coming. I love you all.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, final score once again, 21-7. Weslaco Panthers with a victory here tonight. Next week, they will be playing at Edinburgh. Conomedes on a Thursday night. Jacob Bailly now coming up on the stage as, he's got your old fans out here. All right, how does it feel? 4-0 now on the season, and you guys are looking good.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great to be 4-0, but we can't be satisfied at all. I mean, we got a lot of good teams coming up, and we just got to keep playing hard and practicing hard. I mean, that's what we do. We practice really hard.
You guys played your first Friday night game of the season, so it's like Coach Salinas says, you guys have a short week, and then you guys play next Thursday to open district play. So now the routine's probably going to change a little bit. Tell me what that's going to be like.
Nah, I mean, I think, our first games were on Thursdays. I think we're used to it already. I mean, and we're ready for any game. I just think as long as our coaches believe in us and, we believe in our coaches, I think we'll be fine.
You guys got a new defensive coordinator this year. Seems like you guys have changed it up a little bit from last year. Attacking a little bit more. Do you like that new system?
Oh, I love it, man. I love attacking more. I mean, I don't know what else to say because we're more aggressive on that ball, and we're just, I think, a better defense overall than last year.
I know Coach Salinas says that you guys are 0-0. You guys are 4-0 in non-district. But do you guys feel like you're ready now for district play?
I think we're more than ready for district play. We work hard. We do everything our coaches tell us, and we just try to make the city proud.
And so how do you guys stay grounded? You got a lot of fans. You got a lot of people in the community that are pulling for the Panthers. I don't know when the last time that the Panthers started off 4-0, but there's a lot of excitement here in the city for the Weslaco Panthers. Take a look at that crowd that is back there right now. As you can see, people are still here enjoying the game.
Man, we love it. We love it. We live for this. This is what we live for. We work hard every day. Because we don't want to let these people down. We don't want to let anybody down. And I think we're going to be great this year.
All right. Thank you very much, Jacob Bailly. Appreciate it.
Good job, Jacob. Congratulations.
One of the stars on this football team, because the defense, they don't get a lot of love. But I tell you what, this defense, when a game here where they only scored 7 points and a pretty good football team on the other side of the Harlingen South Hawks, this defense might be getting a little bit more recognized across the Rio Grande Valley.
Absolutely, Carlos. I think all season long, they've been underrated. I think after 4 games now, they deserve the respect that they deserve. And, they set the tempo early in the game, making that crucial 4th down stop. And then when the Panthers offense came on the field, guess what? After a slow start, the offense got going. They got a few first downs. Devin Dana made a few big catches. Jacob made a few big runs. And then boom, Jaden Cavazos scored the first touchdown to put the Panthers ahead 7-0. And it starts with the defense.
Yeah, and that really seems to be the pattern for the Weslaco Panthers this year. If the offense is not clicking or they're getting off to a slow start, that defense usually sparks that offense. It happened in this game here, and it's happened all season long.
And even last week, that's a perfect example, Carlos. Last week, the defense got off to a slow start, but then the offense got going. They were in the special teams. Once the offense got going, scored a touchdown, the special teams came through. Then the defense was able to step up a little bit, and so it's been a team effort all around, and the team looks really good after 4 games.
All right, let's take a look at some of the scores from across the Rio Grande Valley. Weslaco East, the Wildcats beat Harlingen tonight by a final score of 7-0 in a defensive battle in that one at Harlingen's Bogus Stadium. They win that game. Sherryland and Hannah, that score is going down to the wire. The last score we got in the 4th quarter, Sherryland was leading 23-21. Los Fresnos and Edinburgh Vela, that one in the 4th quarter. Vela was leading 27-13 in the 4th quarter. And Edinburgh, the Bobcats, one of the teams from 31-6A, who the Weslaco Panthers will be playing later on in the season. They're in the 3rd quarter. They were beating Mercedes handily 38-12. So, Mike, once again, the Weslaco Panthers get it done. There were some injuries tonight. Like Coach Salinas says, you got to, let that heal a little bit over the weekend and then find out next week what happens for the Weslaco Panthers.
And it's like he says, it's a next man up. And, I mean, from what we've seen, though, from some of these other players that contributed, Jones scored a touchdown tonight, stepping in for Devin Dana. And then you got Hernandez, the running back, that's gotten some playing time early on. And, I mean, next week against Edinburgh Economies, if they can find a way to win that game, then they'll have 2 weeks to prepare for Edinburgh Vela and that big game here in Weslaco. So that'll give them time to heal. So let's see what happens between now and then.
Yeah, one game at a time. You got to take care of Economies next week on the road Thursday night. We will have that live on KWES. All right, well, that'll wrap it up for the KWES post-game show. We'll have highlights later on tonight on our Facebook and YouTube page. For Mike Gonzalez and everybody at KWES, I'm Carlos Roberto. We'll see you next time right here at Bobby Lackey Stadium. Good night, everybody.